Right, but you can witness. I wonder if you can change your name though. I don't know how that works. I think I should change my name. You are live. It says you are live. Am I live? Am I alive? Oh yeah, it does work. Groovy. I might. How do I do? How do I do this? I don't want to abuse the everyone tag anymore. I don't like when I'm abused by everyone, so I refuse to do that myself. But I will try Twitter and see if I can get some other Twitter tweet twats in there. So are you excited about tomorrow, Neil? Let's do that. Delete that. Tweets. That's where it is at. Okay, so who am I going to do this? Join us. Oh yeah, by the way, Neil, I don't know if you were watching it, that there was a new series of She-Ra, and I'm not sure. I'm not hating it, but it's gone far from the original source material, I'm afraid. Let's try this out. Let's see if that works. We'll send a tweet. Tweetaroo. Hey everybody, hello. Hi Verdi, hi Ken. Sorry I didn't see you there. I was busy updating another window with the snipping tool here. So this is basically a live call-in, apparently, like a radio show. And if you click, apparently if you click on that link that I've posted in there, you can actually interact, but clearly I'm hoping to have, I don't know, movie star or someone's going to join this random mystery conference room and start to... Oh, sorry, I got distracted by Neil, RetroManCave, in another window here. About Netflix wanting you to watch it, and that's to watch the She-Ra show. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit weird, the old She-Ra show. It features a. I'm not sure that I like the fact that her enemy is her like childhood friend. I'm just going to load up something up here. I'll just see. Akumador. We never played really any VIC-20 games, by the way, in the web browser. So, oh, Ping Abramoff is here. Ping. Gary says Gary won't be joining us for a while. He's got some stuff to do. Who's Ping? Ping, if I'm just trying to work out if people can hear this. So if you can hear my sounds, feel free to let us know. Neil's going to disconnect from the call rather sensibly, seeing as he hasn't got a microphone. Oh, and also Ping has left. So it's only Neil. Neil left. No, now I'm on my own again. That's a good system. It's really working. This live interaction. Dubious engineering. Howard, why don't you join it? Come on. I need this. What's the point of a live call-in stream if nobody's calling in? Although, you know, it does give me an opportunity to try some VIC-20. What? Oh, cool. List. Ooh, 10. Print. Hello. Oh no, what's going on with what? 20, go to 10. Run. Oh yeah. Howard, get in the bloody call. There's no such thing as being too drunk. If you want to play the YouTube game, you got to get involved. 20 games that define the Commodore 64. No bloody Commodore 64. It's VIC-20. It's always defined as a Commodore, you know, in the same context as 6064. It's a bit like when you talk about Atari ST and there's always someone going on, but Amiga did it better. No. I will not let you define the VIC-20 by being the Commodore 64's younger sibling, or I guess older sibling. Let's get this right. Getting this picture good. We're going to get this fine. There you go. That's pretty good. I'm like quite centralised now for a change. Come on, Howard. Dubious engineer, get in the call. Click the bloody link. Click the link now. So, everybody interested in trying to join a... I know like a lot of people like watching, like Bazza. Bazza likes to watch. They don't like their voice to be heard on the internet. But when you join the link, by the way, I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. When you click the invitation link and join, it gives you a random name, so it doesn't put your real name, right? And because we don't know who your voice is, what you sound like, you could be anyone. So just click the link. It could be anybody, and just say hi. Hi, this is Norman, long-time listener, first-time caller. I've got a problem, and it's about my toilet bidets blocked. Do you have any tips for how to sort that? And then we'll sort that out for you. Now, come on. Is there not a website with VIC-20 games in browser? There has to be. Maybe the VIC-20 didn't have any games. Now, I'm pretty sure it did, because it definitely has games. There's still people writing games for the damn thing. But perhaps there's just nobody's deemed it worthy to port. Do not insert Commodore 64. What? Do not insert Commodore 64 names in the VIC-20. I kind of want to see that. Let's see what that does then. Is it going to just go mental? Searching for Pac-Man. Loading. Come on. It's not going to do anything good, is it? So head for the Spark. Or Head Spark says, I recall making some exclamation mark skis scrolling down the screen in BASIC when I started out. I would love some exclamation mark skis at this point, to be honest with you. I don't know what to do. Have you ever had one of those days? Oh god, we can't have any of that going on. One of those days where you basically want to do something but you don't know what to do. Howard, you cheeky bastard. That doesn't get you out of it. Right, okay. I'm just going to play you some things on YouTube that I like to watch. I'm going to do it in an incognito window because I don't want to mess up my cache here. Right, so I'm going to, while we're waiting for maybe someone who might want to call in, I'm having one of those days, Bazza. So I think what you need to do, I advise you to go and look at the YouTube channel Step-A-Saw, right? Step-A-Saw. You read it right there. And he does quite cool stuff. So if you go and check it out, it's all, I don't know what you call that. I'm guessing it's rapping? Or one of those, like Eminem in that movie, 8 Mile. He does that. Hey, yo. He does that 8 Mile type stuff. And he's got this one here, which is Stepisodes. He's got Stepisodes. And Stepisodes 15 is an amazing Star Trek one. But just check out the little beginning of it. I'll just play the little beginning. You can hear the beat that goes on here. Classic. Copyright strike. Look at that. So, Stephosaurus Rex. So Howard, tell us what have you got drunk on? Is it mead, or is it beer, whiskey, gin tonic, etc.? Oh, hello. Look. Oh no, hang on. I guess Neil has no mic. Ha 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 ha. Okay, he says 1 second. That's cool. Let's get it started in here. So, Howard, when you say, shit, I want to play that, what is it you want to play? You want to play the Star Trek theme? Or you want to play with Neil? Because Neil's here. Neil, I know you can probably hear, but you're not vocalized right now. But I've got some pocket operators, but I'm resisting the urge to bring them with me because I kind of think it might just get calamitous with all this random 8-bit sounds. But I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to... Oh, there you go. How can you not have a PC with a microphone? How's that even possible in this day and age? I can accept if it was a phone, because there's a lot of phones that don't have... I was going to say, there's a lot of phones that don't have the headphone microphone hole, but I guess most phones do have microphones as well. Right, it's going really well. Bazza and Howard, I am absolutely disgusted that you're not even trying this. Dubious Engineer says, loving the Neil, please stop singing. Yes, play the Star Trek tune. Win some hacks. Come on, we're testing this out. I tell you what, I think I'm testing it out for Neil, because I think this is a format that Neil wants to do, and I'm investing time in this media soup company to see if it will actually do the bloody faces plopping up. And where's bloody Andrew Dalton gone? I tell you what, he's gone off the face of the planet. I think you've outraged him, Neil. Come on then. So this is just me. This is just me now talking to myself like a bloody idiot. So I'm gonna watch some RetroManCave now, and that's it. Off you go. I'm gonna. Unless you want to sit here and watch RetroManCave with me, it's like watching Neil. How can we do this? We can maybe try to do it like that. That would work, wouldn't it? Oh, what?
Hello.
What? That's amazing.
Can you hear me now?
I can. And
Yay.
the latency probably isn't that bad because you're reacting quite quickly.
No, it's very good. I'm actually on a really old Dell Latitude E6230 because I'm not in the cave now, as you can tell by this wonderful wallpaper behind me.
I'm loving that wallpaper.
So I've just grabbed this really old laptop, and yeah, it seems to be working. You look good and sound good to me.
Oh, thank you very much.
Apart from the tash, what happened to the mustache?
I felt that it was. I'm gonna just poke this down a little bit so you can have a full-on look, everybody at home. It's still Movember, but it was getting really tickly on my nose because I was letting it get really bushy, and then I guess I'm gonna say I slipped with the razor, and I took it down.
That's a hell of a slip.
Yeah, it is a little bit, but I feel I did my bit there. I did my bit for way longer than most people. Oh, Howard's going to join. He said he's actually going to go upstairs now. So the fact is, Neil, once you came online and you got your mic working, it's the time for everybody to join, and that's fine.
No, I thought you were going to say leave. I should probably join the YouTube video so I can see the chat as well.
Oh yeah, that's a really good idea. That's really multimedia. I mean, because the chat's appearing on the stream, but yeah, obviously it doesn't appear here. It is possible.
If you pre-warned me, I would have stayed in the cave because Miss RMC is away this weekend. So
it would have been perfect.
Yeah, I could have had a late one. Anyway, yeah. Hello, Bazza. Hello, Howard. Hello, everyone in the chat.
Yeah, it's
a disaster tonight. So on my way home, I thought I'll grab some wine.
Yeah.
And you know what they say, never buy cheap wine. About once a year I make that mistake, and I just grabbed the first bottle I could see, and I got home and took a few sips and thought, this is bloody awful, and looked on the back, and it actually says wine-based drink.
That's really interesting. So is it like a sort of Tizer or something.
I don't know. It's called the Shy Pig.
What's its
You should know.
alcohol content?
11%. So
It's still pretty high though. It's obviously still an alcoholic beverage.
there you go. Wine-based drink. I'll avoid that one in future. I'm still going to drink it.
So we had someone join there called Winifred, and Winifred sort of joined and left instantly, but that could be a good sign. That certainly could be somebody trying to join. And I'm going to paste the link again. I kind of wish I had a drink, but I have something else. It's not quite a drink, but it's a tin, a travel sweets tin. But inside it, because this is how frugal I am, I filled it full of Haribo gummy bears. So, you know, waste not, want not. And I think that's the sort of thing that Howard would approve of, but he'd expect it to be full of rusty nails and screws and bits of reclaimed washer. So we have Kelly Pruden here.
I'm gonna post your YouTube link in my Discord.
Go ahead. Or if you want to, you could post a chat link, but you might get flooded with your masses. Kelly Pruden. Hello, Kelly.
There we go. I've told the cave dwellers.
I think I did a mistake of eating about too many. When you were a kid, Neil, did you ever eat the jelly chunk? You know, like off the jelly that you put the boiling water on.
Jelly that you put the boiling water on. Oh, well, when you open the packet and you put like the squares. Yeah, you just eat the solid chunks. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm eating these Haribos, and I put like 50 in my mouth at once because I'm impatient. And as I was chewing it was exactly the same texture as that. And I wonder really if you just take Haribos and you put the boiling water on them, if you could just make a massive jelly. The most expensive way to make jelly.
Yeah, it would work, I reckon. Because you see these people on YouTube that make like the giant Haribo bears and the giant, well, you can get giant everything. I think the worst one I saw was like someone made a giant double-decker bar.
Oh, was it, what's his name? I've met him, Barry.
Might have been. It's one of these people that they do one every couple of months or so.
Barry Lewis, that's it. Now, Barry Lewis, I met Barry a while back with Stuart Ashen in a YouTube Christmas party or something a couple of years ago. And if you look at Barry Lewis's channel now, it's massive. It's like 250,000, 500,000 subs now. It just shows.
Is he still doing the same thing, just making massive sweets?
I think he kind of, My Virgin Kitchen, says Bazza. Yeah, he does cookery, and I don't think he's still doing all of the massive foods. But his content, I think he did a sort of family channel as well, but his content's I think it's really that family friendly content. And I hear that YouTube really promotes cookery. And I guess it's a broader audience, cookery, than gaming, to be fair. So you should have good numbers.
Yeah. I can see we've got Dustin here from my Discord, and Garen Ninja says, "Is Overlord Trevor pleased?" Trevor, please.
So, I've missed all these episodes, Neil, about Trevor, and I get Trevor is that kind of weird tortoisey. Is it a trackball or is it a mouse?
It's a joystick.
Oh, it's a joystick. It's just.
It's a joystick that looks like a tortoise. He's just called Trevor because when I reviewed the stick, I just picked the first name and called him Trevor, and people took to him.
And is he available on a T-shirt or a graphic design mug?
He's available on a poster. And I tell you what, Ravi from the Retro Hour, I went to see him the other weekend. He's got a 16 by 24 inch poster of Trevor on his wall.
That sounds almost too big. Oh,
yeah.
Hang on a minute. Bazza says maybe he should make a giant edible Tetris. Now, Tetris is the game, right? And the parts are called Tetronymos or something. So, but I like the idea of making a giant Tetris game. Would that be
chocolate or something?
Yeah, would that be what do you think? The arcade version or the just a
Someone must have done this already. You must be able to get chocolate Tetris.
Well, I think we can do multimedia here. Giant Oh, I hear an echo. Echo.
We've got someone else here.
Okay, look, Neil, I put on giant Tetris, but in my search, it's come up with a sexy swimsuit. That's obviously based on yesterday's
That'll be last night's stream, yeah.
giant Tetris tournament on a city hall. And look, that's got a lady with a giant joystick. So we should.
Right, how to do this, honey? I have no idea.
Hello. Oh, we've got video. Who have we got here?
Oh, hello.
You're in a sword.
Okay. Yeah, it's us. We've got to pull the tape off.
Oh, it's Howard.
Oh, Howard.
Hello, Vicky.
Or Andrew Eust. Howard, you can change your name by clicking on your name in the box. It gives you a random one to start with. Which I think that should be quite a fun feature, I think, on business web conferencing software, that everybody joins the room with a random, humorous name. So you'll get like the CEO of Microsoft turned up and called Nobby Hairdo or something. No. Oh dear.
Cheers, Howard.
Cheers, gentlemen.
That's all I've got.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. That's my favourite. That used to be my favourite camping food when camping involved very small nylon tents that were nightmares to set up. And then little pot noodles, I mean, boil water, bang, pot noodle, dinner, done. Nowadays, it turns into much nicer events. Anyway, cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers to you. But Howard, what are you camping in now then? If it's not a small nylon tent, what's your accommodation?
So I have a bell tent, a nice cotton canvas bell tent, and I have a wood burning stove that goes inside that bad boy.
So
you've got a new stove though, haven't you, Howard? You've got a jet stove or something that you built.
Well, that's gonna make a feature at some point in the future. But anyway, yeah,
I'm spoiling your secrets.
Didn't come on for that. Came on for a chat and a big hello to Mr. Armstrong and Neil. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it, and I've got something here that I was given, but I've not used. Now, I don't know if there's a use for this, but what do you reckon of these things? I'll have an unboxing now. And they say they're answer buzzers, apparently.
Do they say yes or no?
Well, there's 4 of them. I suspect they must make sounds.
It says boy, oi, 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 oi.
So that's just no light, though. Missed opportunity. Are these doorbells? Oh, I like that.
Boy, is definitely there.
It works all right. Oh, actually, I've just arranged them in front of me like a set of drums here.
Andrew, I'll just interrupt you. Scott's joined us as a Christmas tree.
Yay, Scott!
Hello.
Now,
hello, Scott.
I think, Scott, you've got the right idea. I've got my Christmas tree lights here.
This is what happens when you have too much disposable income.
No, aren't they? Aren't they giving? No, but surely, Scott, you're on the YouTube gravy train like we all are now, getting sent free fairy lights.
Well, I get a lot of really shit indie games, but Fairy Light's still not in the market for. Maybe if I'm wearing this now, I might get sponsored. You never know.
To be honest with you, I will personally sponsor you to wear Fairy Lights and just stream for me.
The ironic thing is, these stupid fucking headphones that I should be shouting racial epithets at people with do have RGB, but it doesn't work. So I've had to make it up for it.
No, they look like they're changing
swag
colour.
on,
I
what
can
the
see
cool
them doing
kids
it.
say.
They're changing colour right now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're working. Fucking hell.
So, Scott, I have to say that you were the person who has inspired me to stream tonight, because I was expecting to watch a stream of you.
Yeah, I had a really long day at work and I can't be asked, so. But I will be streaming tomorrow. I'm going to be doing.
As the host, you need to make introductions. I don't know if Howard and Scott have met before.
Yeah, I almost feel I wish I had a plan here.
Well, Andrew, just take a back seat for a minute. Scott, good evening. How are you?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I like the hat.
Yeah, hey, also like the hat.
Yeah, because it's fucking cold in here. That's why.
Which, so Scott, you're in England somewhere, and what is it you do?
What, in IRL or just dumb shit on the internet?
Whatever you feel
Yeah, come
comfortable
shit on
in.
the internet, because that's what I do.
Well, I run a channel called Scott's Game Asylum where I take a look at cult games. Here's the elevated pitch, boring spreadsheet, whatever. And I just make jokes on the internet and hopefully not get copyright strikes. Yeah, that's about it, really.
That's pretty much like most of us here this evening, I think. But yeah, nice. So, can you do us a favor and put like a little a texty up or with a link so that we can click on
I
your...
shall do that. I shall.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Scott can do
so
that.
who's Winsome Hacks?
Oh, so
I don't know, but I like the name. It's very Deus Ex. If he doesn't come on the camera now and he doesn't look like someone from Deus Ex, I'm going to be disappointed.
I think the Winsome Hacks has been with us the whole time looking at the chat, but it's just he's having trouble in connecting. Sorry, what's Winsome Hat says? You're lucky it came up with a bikini clad lady. You were searching for stuff to shove up your bum and fire water up there. I think that was yesterday's stream. So I don't know if anybody caught yesterday's stream, and I feel
I now want to for some reason.
Well, I've got a window here. I could just do a little. I'll just minimise that because people are curious at seeing obviously your lovely faces. And I was basically looking on Amazon to see what ways exist for cleaning your bottom. It was quite interesting.
Yeah, let's not go down that rabbit hole again.
Now, as we've actually got, and Howard's just freaking me out. Howard I think he's gonna cut the corner of his frigging nose looking at that. I almost feel that we should try to. Should we just try to do a topical thing? Neil, have you read anything interesting in the papers today?
Oh,
any gamer news?
A better question would be, when did you last buy a paper, Neil? Right about
get the belt sander, some dry content just coming. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, has anybody?
I'm not one for buying newspapers. When did you last buy a paper?
I've never ever bought a paper in my life. I only pick them up off the tube train when people have sort of discarded them on the back.
I think the last time I bought a paper was Saddam. It was the Daily Sport, so you could catch him on Saddam Hussein where he was this week.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, he had that in every single day. It's like Saddam watch. It's like, why the fuck am I buying this piece of shit?
So
Howard, I think Howard might be a newspaper buyer. Howard,
yeah, looks like one.
What?
Okay, so about
okay, hang on. Is that better? Is that better?
No.
How about
put the hat back on?
Now, jeez.
You could see. Can you see the light?
Yes.
Can you see the light shining off that?
I'm part of the crew as well.
Is that? Hang on, I could probably emulate it.
You're getting there.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Come on, Neil.
Good Lord.
That's worrying, actually. I might the wind will change and it'll stick. Get that back there.
angry.
I remember.
I'm loving the fairy lights. Those are absolutely fabulous. Scott, I'm loving your fairy lights, mate.
Yeah, I know. £2 from Sainsbury's. Whoop whoop.
So you going?
Whoop, whoop.
So are you trying to go after the sort of big Clive market then? Because he's well into LEDs and pans and fairy lights. It's pretty much every video now.
No, I like it when he starts blowing stuff up. That's when I watch.
Do you remember Photonic Inductor? Anybody watch Photonic Inductor?
Yeah, I've seen him. He's interesting. He's had some mobility scooters that have been quite ramped up.
And Howard, you're going a bit for what's that chap called who sort of does all the building stuff? Really, this is the least useful description. But you know the guy that Colin. You knew though. He knew. So I kind of think Howard is a kind of Colin Furze a little bit. Is that, do you think?
No, not at all, mate. Not at all. I'm a maker. I love to make stuff. I like putting stuff together with my hands, and whether it's computers or whether it's mechanical stuff, and occasionally I stupidly get invited to different events and stand there and interview people that make stuff. But it's brilliant though, because it hits my heart. I'm a maker. I can't help myself. So there we go. Done. That finished.
But you seem to be. Do you sort of move in different sort of themes? Like you seem to be doing a lot of music things recently. Yeah,
I've always enjoyed my music, and weirdly, I came across a channel called oh yeah, I forgot it. So it's obviously really impressional. But they had the OP, the Teenage Engineering. You mentioned the Pocket Operators earlier today.
Yeah.
And they had the Teenage Engineering OP-1.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's Red means recording is the name of the channel, and I would love one of these things. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's got so many buttons and dials and knobs and
the little screen in the corner that just with amazing graphics.
Just exactly, with that tiny little OLED screen that just bursts out loads of stuff and tells you what's going. It's just brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'd enjoy. Yeah.
Well, I'm one of those people who does own. I do own a lot of keyboards and pocket operators and things, but I cannot play a tune. So
we'll fix that this weekend.
Can I just show you something? Because I'm on the laptop. I'm just going to tilt the laptop forward. It's sat on the keyboard.
Well,
you practicing, Neil.
Go on then, Neil. Come on, give us a little tune.
Oh, I can't play it.
Poser.
Inspired by my last trip to you last weekend, Howard. After we played in your attic with all your music kit, I dragged this out of my loft. Like everyone, I bought a keyboard at one point and thought I'm going to learn to play it, and never did. So I dragged it out, got a MIDI cable, plugged it into this laptop, and just started playing with VST plugins and trackers and things like that.
Perfect.
I still can't play anything, but it's just great just to go through all the VSTs and just make strange noises and just experiment. It's good fun.
As a kid at university, one of my favorite things, in fact, probably the reason why I almost failed, was down to the fact that I played around with mods on the PC. So I can't remember what kind of PC it was. It might have been 486 DX266, maybe Pentium, and I had something called Fast Tracker 2, which gave you the ability to be able to just sequence samples and watch, almost like the Matrix, watch all of those samples sort of scrolling up the screen. It was so much fun to play around with.
Scott's doing a bit of adjustment.
Camera, I'm giving everyone the side eye, and it's a bit creepy.
Your edgelord look.
No, I'm not in darkness.
But Neil,
Funny you mention. Oh.
Did you just fart, Scott?
No.
I think I can smell it.
Scott would be proud of it. If he'd done it, he would let you know. He's not. I don't think he's shy on that.
Well, to weigh in on the MIDI thing, I don't have any of the hardware, but I love messing around with sound fonts on DOSBox. Because I've been playing a lot of Strife recently, and the soundtrack is really cool to that game. But the original sound fonts are fucking awful with MIDI. So I think I spent more hours trying to find the right fonts for that game than I was actually playing it.
What's the name of that game, Scott? I'm just going to bring it up. I'm curious.
Strife.
Scott, have they built like MT32 emulation into DOSBox yet?
No, but you have to download it externally.
Doing it.
Yeah.
I'm
messed a lot around with that.
Appear to be out. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
I've just worked out something cool here. I can actually, if we've got, let's say 4 people, 5 people, however long many you've got here on the chat, it's possible for me to use OBS to have all the faces, say, at the top of the screen, and actually still share like a web browser or something at the bottom.
Oh, so you give us a web seminar. That's nice.
A web seminar. Hello.
Hello. I'm going to show you something to board now. Show us.
Yes. I forgot, by the way, Scott. I've been taking on some sponsorship for the channel, and I'm supposed to do things when I start the video. So
Oh, do it now then. Come on, give us the spiel.
I should just have to ask you, Scott. Have you ever considered making your own website for your business, or perhaps for your hobby or club?
No, please
If,
not.
if you do,
Forget that a minute. Let me tell you about monster joysticks.
yeah, it's like a fight.
I'm cool and I'm on an advert. You should make a website with Wix. Fuck off.
Scott, I see you more as a Grammarly.
Yeah. It's like, do you want to spell like a complete idiot? Get Grammarly. Because you look like an idiot without it.
You see people, though, who use it, right? And you read it like an email. They said, who the fuck are you, Lord Fauntleroy?
Yeah.
You're Barry from the pub.
I use it as well when I'm doing a script for a video. It makes me sound like an accountant. I'm like, that's not me. I don't sound like that. It's like, ugh, change it.
You sound like an accountant.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently I'm too quiet, so I'm going to have to put my mix myself up. How's that, Dr. Nerd? I've mixed myself up. And, of course, Garo Ninja, it is genuine Sanwa compatible arcade parts.
No, they are genuine parts.
Genuine Sanwa compatible. Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to do a little thing for Monster Joystick. I think Howard, you fiddle with that while I get something.
So this is Howard Mills.
You've just put me in a really awkward situation
You want
there.
to flip my switch?
I have to fiddle with your appendage while you get something.
You have to do. You have to crank it. I've got a load of boxes of stuff, but I thought I'd share a couple of things. Neil's seen this one. A copy from Rob Taylor of Castle Master for the Atari ST.
Love the box art. That's cool.
And I remember buying these titles. Do you like when they were? I think it was kind of like the budget range when they went all a bit budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, his squad was the budget range. Yeah. But Castle Master was interesting. Castle Master was part of Denmark's. What was the engine that they used for things like Total Eclipse, Castle Master, and all of those games? What was that engine called? Was it Freescape?
Was that the same one as Driller as well? Or was that?
Yeah, I think it was the Freescape engine. And did you ever have 3D construction kit?
Yes.
You could make your own Freescape games. It was all part and parcel of the same engine.
It was really creative, and isn't it a shame that they don't really exist today? I mean, you've got Unity and all those things, and they're really complicated, but you never have that sort of halfway house anymore where laymen.
Yeah, I guess you have some creativity in things like Minecraft, but 3D construction kit. Oh, it's got truck construction set.
For kids, that's his right age.
But 3D construction kit had a whole programming language sort of bundled in with it, so you could set events and make things happen.
Now I'm just cracking the seal here rather dangerously with this knife thing. Finally got it. And I've got this box, and it does say on it from Monster. What did it say? Monster Joysticks Limited. So I do believe I have a Monster Joysticks thing. It's like a live
Howard's
unboxing.
just holding random things up to the camera. It's like Howard's first time on a webcam. I love it.
So Neil, you've had plenty of these. So it appears I've got a set of acrylic parts here.
Oh, okay. So you've got the covers you need to peel off.
And there's a heavy thing. I'm guessing that's the Sanwa compatible joystick. So this is actually Monster Joysticks are kits, right? Can you buy them ready-made, Neil, or are they always kits?
No, you can't buy them ready-made, and you'll realise why when you come to make it. You need to set some time aside to put it together.
Okay, so I've got, which looks like a bunch of adapters here, and I think these are for the BBC Micro. It looks like a Mega
I know
Drive.
there's an MSX adapter as well.
Oh yes, and then there's the actual switch that goes on the back. But when I've seen these on your channel, RetroManCave. Oh, he's playing the Steadily Stanley knife. I've noticed though that it looks like you've got plenty of room inside that you could shove a Raspberry Pi if you're that way inclined.
If you get the 6-button stick, that has mounting points inside to put a Raspberry Pi inside. And that's got 6 buttons, but the Mini doesn't have that. But I think you could still easily put a Pi inside a Mini, for sure.
Plenty of.
But you've only got the 2 buttons on the Mini.
So
So when it comes to sort of shift buttons to escape from emulators and things like that, you're going to need a keyboard alongside it.
I don't know if I think I'll just use it as is though. It's a primary function.
Shall I show you what I've got sat next to me?
Is it something
Oh,
sexy?
please.
Show and tell.
Trash to treasure, mate. Trash to treasure.
So my oh, nice. I've from Mr. Taylor.
There we go.
A 512.
And apparently the screen doesn't work on it, so let's have a play with it.
Consider yourself lucky, Neil, because
Floppy drive. Look at that bad boy.
you can GoTech those up. They take a GoTech really well.
Twin drive. Woohoo!
Hey, floating fat man. Good evening, Craig. Helen. You have no power over his domain.
Yeah, I can use it like a ghetto blaster.
So
You've
Neil,
got to now in a video.
Neil, they were wondering is there something that we can pass between screens. So I could go and run and get mine, but I think we'd all have to get one.
If I could get a chip tune playing on that and just carry it around on my shoulder.
It's got to be done.
Neil, you know I've actually got I've tested this and it works great on that. You can actually retronet those and run them off batteries. So you could literally go into a Starbucks with that and start using it.
That would be good.
Some recordable MDs, nice.
Well, the only thing I've got for show and tell then, if we're going to do this, is a couple of City Interactive PC games of XP, because I'm building a machine right now. And we've got the wonderfully titled SAS Secure Tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, that looks wonderful.
The dialogue in this game is basically any sort of Guy Ritchie movie retold through a Polish filter. It's very funny. And probably the piece de resistance on this one is Armed Forces Corp.
Oh. Is it
Talk about fucking European shite. I love it.
What have you got there? Howard's just...
Howard, are you just trying to sell things now?
Yeah.
Have you
got this wonderful laptop.
Have you seen how big this laptop is? This is not a laptop. This is like...
You're not going to win against this, Howard.
Well, I think if we're going to do the final, I'll do my last bit of show and tell then. And I think I might have won because I've got... Can you see this? This is
What balls is that?
Yeah, this is a sort of mini. What do you call that? It's not MIDI. It's just a regular hi-fi separate mini disc recorder.
It looks like a dial nightmare.
Plus, it is. Plus a box of discs, and I played the grand sum total of £8 for the player and £4 for the disc. So,
If you keep holding that up, your bloody Tecmo will be sending you a message and they're trying to buy it off you.
or telling me, pack that shit in. That's my area, bitch.
I must admit I'm going to have to hold my hands up to going to richer sounds and buying a Technics Class AA mini disc player. Oh, no, it was a Sony mini disc player. And then upgraded from a Walkman, from an old school Walkman. I used to spend hours on the bus going to school and coming back. It was a long way, the school was, and just listening to Iron Maiden, amazingly, on the Walkman, on the old cassette tapes. And then tried the CD player, got the original, in fact still have it, the original the CD from Dire Straits, which I think was the first AAA CD, which meant that it was, Triple D CD, which meant that it was recorded digitally, it was mastered digitally and produced digitally, as opposed to the analog recorded stuff. And then I'm getting my audio file out a little bit here, but then later on, the mini disc came along, and it was magic. It was the prelude to MP3s, wasn't it?
Well,
Sorry, speaking of richer sounds, I bought a CD player from there once, and it was able to play super audio CDs. Do you remember SA CDs?
Wow, no, I remember VCDs. There was lots of those going on in Asia.
They had the extra channels to do surround sound, but I never bought one, and I never had surround sound speakers. It was just one of those things. Like I also had a hi-fi, a mini hi-fi with a mini disc in it, and the reason but I never owned a mini disc. The reason I bought it was because nobody wanted it, and it had a CD player, so it was cheaper. So
Fantastic.
I bet there's a load of hi-fis out there that can play mini discs that have never ever played one, and they'll be in perfect working condition for mini discs.
There'll be a slot, and people will be like, "Well, that's too big for an SD card, and it's too big for an MMC card, and so what do we put in here?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! The old So today I went to
You got to stop now, Howard, because I've got to continue where you left off because I just remembered something. You say the mini display was the prelude to the MP3, and it was in more ways than one because Sony brought in the A-track sound compression scheme, and that's how it allowed them to fit so much audio to get 74 minutes on the little disc. So they invented MP3 before there was MP3.
And this is pre-Fraunhofer compression.
Yes, exactly. Okay, there you go. Now you can continue.
I'm sorry, I
We've got Craig up there. Craig is actually mourning SACDs, so Craig liked them.
Oh.
I need to get the chat up. How do I get the chat up? I'll probably just need to
open another tab and go into YouTube.
Okay,
Castado's here. Castado and the people of Wales and Lactobacillus Prime. It's always one that's easy to find.
Yeah, the video.
Oh, the Monkster is here. Winsome Hacks. I don't know if you're still trying to connect, but maybe if it's not working out for you, you might want to just close it in Firefox. Unless you're listening to us, of course, where you're welcome.
Firefox, what is this, Germany?
Right, I've got the chat up.
Yeah, and let's just take a moment with the chat. I want to say hello to, I never say this right, Lactobacillus Prime.
Lactose intolerance.
Yakult.
Hey, Mark.
Yakult. Yakult Megatron.
I was going to write that down. I might use that for a channel one day.
Oh, beautiful. So Wales are here this evening as well.
Everybody's here.
Everybody.
If Winsome Hacks could disconnect, then I'd be able to see you all on one screen on my tiny laptop screen.
And King Monkey, you've made it, sir. Well done.
Evening all.
How's the retro lifestyle? Because you live it, breathe it, are everything retro, aren't you?
I try to be.
But just look at that picture behind it. It's awesome.
That's when it settles.
We're going on a tour now.
You've still got it set up from your Chatterbait session.
Yeah.
So go take your dick out your hand. Go.
I'll have to pull it out of the cupboard. I don't use it.
Hey, Andrew's in the house as well.
Hello, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
Like crap. So I had to dig this webcam out of that.
Well, it's working. It's working well enough.
Spied on by Russian spies or whatever the shit.
They're going to be getting a lot out of this stream.
Exactly.
Mr. Dalton,
Loads.
are you with us, Mr. Dalton? It looks like either you're Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, but thank gosh, Andrew's picture had actually crashed and he hadn't had some sort of little stroke and he's just sitting there.
Yeah, I think he may have just nutted and then crashed the computer.
Internally screaming at you, help me! Help me, you bastards!
Oh, Andrew left the room.
No, he didn't. He's back.
No, I think it's a Firefox issue though, Andrew. I think it's genuinely it's a fire. It's Providencia Z.
Oh, there he is.
There we go.
Who comes up with these fucking names?
Is this software? It's pretty good though. I quite like it.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
So, Andrew, you mentioned earlier, you were saying that we'd had an idea for kind of a weekly chat, retro chat. chat thing.
The loose men idea again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the loose men idea. I mean, I think put it to the chat room. Is there, do people want this? Do I not entertain you? Is this what you want? I mean, you can be a part of it.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, what I would think is this is the perfect forum for the people in the chat to ask questions.
Yeah.
Judging from the makeup of the people in the link, apart from King Monkey, of course, they could ask all sorts of questions about what happens when you get fucking old.
Andrew, got a question for you, mate. How fucking old are you?
Me?
No, the other one.
Oh, right.
What, me?
Yeah.
I'm 40.
Oh, right, okay.
Well,
How old are you,
Yeah, like-
Andrew, then?
How old do
The
you
other
think?
looks younger.
I'm 40.
Oh, he's 4.
Why are you asking this question, Howard? How old are you?
Because you said, let's get on and ask some questions about each other.
Oh, I thought you were just curious. Oh no, it was for the people in the chat to ask the questions. I think that's weird, us asking questions to each other.
No, let the chat ask the questions for sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah, what happens 6 years when I get my prostate exam?
Well, I stopped at the expensive Gloucester services on the way home from work, and I just happened to find this by the till.
Ooh, oh, come on then. Let's just go on. You could just open it up.
Andrew sounds like he's on an early 90s car phone.
Does it not sound... Oh, right, hang on, let me have a look at what's going on.
Yeah, you need to remove the microphone from the rectilia.
It's a good sound. It's a good sound. I like it.
Hang on,
It's fine.
let me change it. Hang on a second.
No, Andrew, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what you found at Gloucester Services, because they're damned expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it is, it's going to be expensive.
Oh,
Really build oh yeah.
are you going to do a live taste test?
I might in a minute. I might in just a moment. I've literally just walked in the door.
Okay.
So
that's
as
what
you
I'm
guys
saying.
get
It's beautiful,
sponsored,
everyone. The live chili billetong taste test. Don't disconnect.
This episode of RetroManCave is brought to you by Biltong Bill and the spiciest snack this side of Africa.
so have you guys had the misfortune of being approached to promote mobile games in the last few months?
No. Tell us about that.
Well, I got one about a week ago, and I can't remember what the fucking game's name is now. It was basically like anime fapathon or whatever.
Oh.
And there's like, we will pay you X amount of pounds to display a 30-second video before you start your own videos. And it's like, you have watched my channel. It's like, I get 100 views to begin with. You're not going to pay me that much. And secondly, who the fuck's going to play your game? Like,
So, sorry,
I'm
what's
trying
the
to
deal,
promote-
Scott? Sorry, what's the deal? For a 30-second intro video, what do they give you?
yeah. They was going to give me, well, all right, fuck it. They were going to give me 400 quid a month.
What? Do it!
Come on,
Yeah, but
Come
it's got
on.
nothing to
tell
do.
yourself. Tell yourself. Come on.
Yeah, but it's got nothing to do with what I'm doing on YouTube. It's like, yeah, I like the money, but it's like, I'm not going to promote some shit I'm not going to play.
Yeah, you've got standards. Not like some of us.
Yeah.
email.
Not even now.
I think
Yeah.
King Monkey's definitely tempted by the Grammarly. Because
I'll play the fucking game. Send it.
you just change your channel to the game.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I tell you what, if you get the option to advertise the Grammarly, I'd go for it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I'm just looking through my emails. I've just put sponsorship in the Gmail search. One I had recently was somebody trying to get me to promote cheap Windows 10 OEM keys.
Oh,
What?
nice.
Had any of them?
Hey, do you want to buy ripped off Windows keys? Buy them from my eBay shop. Fuck off.
Yeah, buy a Windows
Get out
10
of here.
for £5. It's
Yeah,
legit.
download it from the website for free, you fucking chucklehead.
Yeah.
I think I realised why I don't get sponsored that often.
Andrew, can we just have a quick round the table? Who's here and who's here?
Who's here?
Everybody could introduce themselves, starting with Andrew.
With Andrew Dalton.
No, with Andrew the host.
Oh, Dr. A. Dr. A.
Well, it's his channel, so I hope you know him.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hello.
we're squatting on his channel to begin with.
Hi, welcome
What
to the back
channel?
office show. I will be retro brighting an Amiga today. And Neil, you can introduce yourself.
Hello, cave dwellers. It's Dr. Andrew Armstrong here, and I'm going to teach you all about B-days and how to keep your butt clean today.
Go on, Howard. You got to do it as one along now. You got to do Scott.
Fucking hell. Sorry,
Surely I'm not next. Surely I'm not next. Okay, hello, I'm Howard, Dubious Engineering, make sort of stuff, and on to somebody else.
No, you done it wrong. Fingers are the wrong way.
Isn't it?
This is just not working out properly.
Well, all the layouts are different. How do we know who's next?
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Opus, you're next.
Opus.
Is everybody called Opus?
I think that's the name.
Scott's next to mine.
What?
Requested keyframe, you're next.
Requested keyframe. Variable bit encoding. Hi. Oh, I can up your quality.
Somebody that hasn't already started, can they just do their thing?
No, I think Andrew's mic isn't on. So King Monkey, come on, King Monkey.
So I'm King Monkey, or Darren to people who want to abuse me. King Monkey's a better name. And what do? I just play retro shit. Basically, I live in the 90s, pretty much, apart from when I've got to go to work.
And you
Fair enough. Damn work.
Two
Getting in
thumbs
the way
up,
of your
mate.
retro
Well done.
fun.
Still rocking iPods. Still listen to an iPod on the way to work. Keep it as retro as possible.
But King Monkey, you're
And then
quite a
who's-
Sega fan, though, aren't you, as well?
Yeah, more Sega than Nintendo.
Sega.
Yeah.
Ah, bollocks to Nintendo.
Ooh. Oh no, Andrew's.
Oh, dropping it, edgy.
There we go.
Was that your mic
Can you hear me
drop?
now, guys? No, is that better?
Yeah, much better.
Wow.
Onto my good posh mic.
Speaking of iPods, my other half's still got iPod with the hard disk inside it. And
Mm.
apparently they go for a lot of money now because they've got a lot more capacity than the solid state versions.
Well,
Also,
yeah,
where
probably
can you get a
goes
1.8-inch hard drive from now?
Sorry?
They use a 1.8-inch hard drive.
Hmm.
Where
That's
would
right.
you get one from?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. But, it's got like a 250 gig capacity, something like that.
yeah, just like a
Well,
small
maybe
SD card.
Old iPod.
But why would you start?
One broken iPod.
Why would you want one? It would sound like a chainsaw when you turn
I don't
it
know.
on.
I'm just saying, they go for a lot of money.
Fucking hell.
I don't know. I did buy a first-gen iPod when they first came out, and I really liked the clicky wheel, or the clicky feel.
Yeah,
of the
so did I. But the problem is, I kept pissing around with it because I fiddle with stuff. And I kept fucking around with it when I was just listening to music, and I
Yeah.
broke it. Like, shit. Then the iPod's completely useless after that when you broke it.
And I think when they started introducing all the extra features like video playback and stuff, it lost its charm for me. As a single-use device, music playing device, it's brilliant.
Young
So-
Jared gave me this one. I've not really listened to it too
nice.
much, but that's an iPod.
But I used to
apparently,
use
one of
those. I
these
used
little
to use those for running, and I used to have to put it in the finger of a latex glove.
Nice.
ones.
Nice.
So
Nice.
you had to put you
Because
had to put it in a condom, didn't you?
Did you imagine you were at Chicago and the American TSA were doing their thing?
Yeah.
I need to finish this story.
This doesn't look dodgy. I'm just putting it in the condom. That's all.
Put it in the finger of a latex glove because I broke 3 of them from sweating on them from running. I had to protect them somehow. So I put them in a latex glove. There you go.
Well,
True
yeah,
story.
like you put it into a latex glove. The next thing, the logical thing to do is to shove it up your ass. Like an iPod. That'll piss them off at border
It
control.
made me run quicker. Yeah.
Oh, is it my turn now?
Yes.
I don't know why I hate doing introductions, but anyway, I've got a name for my subscribers now. Hello, test subjects.
Oh,
My
nice.
name is Scott from Scott's Game Asylum. Well, I was talking to Neil about this in Blackpool. I was like, you've got that really cool name. I don't want to call people fans because I hate that term. So I was like, ooh, test subject. I was thinking of it last night. I don't know, whatever, waffle. Yes, I review games, mostly nostalgic, early 2000s, late 90s stuff. Most of my content is just my avant-garde, dumb, dad jokey humor. Go subscribe. I need subscribers, please. I'm just squatting on here to get more subscribers. I don't care about these people. Please.
I'm gonna go there and subscribe now. Can you just remind me of the name of your channel, please?
I'll go and link it.
I posted it in there earlier, but I'll put it up there again. It's
Scott. So, test subject.
Yeah.
Why have you chosen? Because this is a good discussion. Why have you chosen to give your viewers a name?
Because I hate the term. Well, I don't like subscribers because it just feels impersonal. Viewers is okay, and I can't stand the term fan. When people, especially YouTubers, use that, oh, my fans this, my fans that. It's like, I can't fathom people being a fanatic of me. That's just blah. So just using that. It's more of a joke, really, than anything else.
But Scott, I'm actually a fan.
Oh, fuck off.
Dr. Armstrong, you loaded incognito rather quickly there, like a professional.
I got to do that. Otherwise, you'll see all my pictures of knobs and stuff I'm looking at.
So I do apologise just one more time because I didn't manage to get it in there. What was, pardon my French, what was the name of your channel, please?
It's in the Scott's Game Asylum. There you go.
Scott's Game Asylum.
Yeah, I'm trying to channel a little bit of Neil here, just make it smooth. Smooth.
That's a good knob.
Scott Space Lessons. Scott Space Lessons.
No. So I look like
I like that. Scott's Space Lessons is pretty good.
That is a cool character. But I don't think I'm built with space. I got another look. I got more chins of fucking Russian.
Howard,
military.
it's the hyperlink that's in the YouTube chat that I posted. I posted it twice.
Yeah, I do apologise. I'm a little behind things, Andrew.
What's a
Scott,
YouTube?
just so you know, I've subscribed, and I do apologise if I'm a little slow on the uptake.
No, it's fine. No, I'm just dicking around. I'm having fun.
Oh, there you go. I do like your logo, Scott. Is that new?
Yeah. I tried to reach out to a few designers and then realised how much I'd be potentially paying. So I just tried to slum it in Photoshop until I had something that was kind of decent. I'm not talented, so that I'm surprised I even made. So
I actually thought I actually thought it was a poo. And I'm looking at it in the little picture. No, in the little picture, and I've just embiggened it. And I can see now.
I kind of, I realised that after I made it. Like, that looks like the shit emoji.
Yeah.
I'm liking the look of Parasite Eve, the video that you have, Parasite Eve. The thumbnail is very appealing.
Well, sex sells.
Well, I haven't watched your latest video, but the title is "Get Real. I am not leaving YouTube."
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. That.
I posted the video earlier that day saying that I now have opened a Twitch channel because quite a lot of you have Twitch channels. And I thought, well, I'm capturing a lot of gameplay for these videos. It's kind of a lonely existence. Why don't I stream it onto Twitch and record it at the same time? I posted that video and people freaked out thinking, oh, you're now moved over to Twitch full time. It's like, no, this is a side thing. But after a while, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I deleted that video. That video I posted was like at 3 in the morning. I was just like dead tired. I thought, fuck it. I'm just going to do it. And said, look, I'm not leaving YouTube. You can calm down. I lost like 20 odd subscribers from that. Like people. Really fickle. All right, if they leave that quickly, then obviously they're not regular watchers, but it just felt really, really weird. Yeah. But I'm hoping to bring out a new video tomorrow.
So what do you
I've just subscribed and I look forward to your new one tomorrow. And you know what? Screw history, man.
Yeah.
Maybe they weren't on target and maybe
it was ridiculous. It's like it's just a level of non-drama that people seem to just stoop to for no good reasons. Like, guys, calm down. It's not a big deal.
Exactly. You know what? Take it for what it is. If you're not into it, go do something else. But you don't have to. You don't have to hate. So, next one. The next one is.
What, are you the next
Andrew,
person?
what's your next?
Andrew.
No, you know what? No. Hold on. Stop the world. I want to get off. Stop the world. I want to get off. I know. Only and Neil, you may hate me for this, but I know what your next video is. I know what you're getting for Christmas. Luke, I have felt your presence. It's the C5. It's the C5, man.
Yeah,
It's the Sinclair.
it has to
Stop.
be.
Come on.
Oh, you want me to tell you about that?
Oh, I love it.
I can
I
tell
guess
you about that.
that's
Yeah, this week I went to Milton Keynes and I met a man who's restored a Sinclair C5, and it looks pristine. It looks brand new. He's stripped everything down, the motor down to every last part, and rebuilt it, and it looks perfect. So typically when I went there it was raining, but he let us go out, so I went and ragged this C5. And when I say rag, I mean I was pedaling as fast as I could.
You can do a little power slide in them, can't you?
C5 around Milton Keynes, which is the perfect place to own a C5.
Pretty much, yeah. Was you listening to Cliff Richard's Why the Sound at the same time?
Oh yeah, of course I was. Yeah, with those headphones with
yeah, and the shorts as well.
Orange foam on my little headphones. Yeah, so Milton Keynes is full of psychopaths, and it's like a grid.
So is that psychopaths?
Psychopaths.
And psychopaths.
That's actually a really good
title. And then my brother came with me. He also has a YouTube channel based on electric cars. So we did sort of a joint video. And he arranged for us to go to the EV Experience Centre in Milton Keynes, in the shopping centre there. So we were able to park the C5 up in front of all of these modern electric vehicles and get that contrast of old and new and chat to the guys there. And it got so much attention in the shopping centre. Everyone wanted to come and see the C5. It was brilliant.
Future of Milton Keynes.
Yeah, and you got to see where Superman 4 was shot.
And well, that's all I was thinking all day long.
Exactly.
Superman 4 was shot here.
Yeah, Superman 4 was filmed in Milton Keynes.
Wow.
That's a fun film fact.
To be fair, it's
could
not
have
every
stopped
day that someone gets the opportunity to go and have a play with the Sinclair C5. And in much the same way that I'd like to have a go on a Segway. Has anyone had a play on a Segway?
No, they look amazing. How have we
Well,
not?
Anyone see that Philip Schofield Christmas presents thing that was on the other night? Because they had some new Segway like roller skates.
Sorry, you just mentioned that.
I know.
name.
I know. But they're like
Philip Schofield. He mentioned Philip Schofield.
yeah, but they're like Segway roller skates made by Segway.
God. Oh, why is everyone trying to kill themselves so early with stupid shit? I used the Segway once, and because I'm a top-heavy fella, I got on it, went 2 feet, and fell flat on my face.
Do you feel you overpowered it? I mean, it's made for Americans.
Well,
It
I was
should
supposed to be a man, like, well, no, what I was trying to do, I was trying to lean forward, but I'm just not very well coordinated, and I just went forward and just kept going forward.
Oh, you got to turn it on first.
One of the executives from the Segway company went off a cliff on his and killed himself.
That's right. That's right. Wasn't it the guy who founded Segway?
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Took his Segway over a cliff.
Yeah, it's true.
Apparently, though, he was doing it to be polite.
What?
Really, apparently, it was like someone was walking like, "Oh, excuse me, I'll just get out of your way," and he went, "Oh!" over the cliff.
Segway to heard.
Yeah, I didn't realise he was shouting catch me," before he went over.
Help me.
Andrew, I think you should engage the chat. I think you should put a question out to the chat.
I've actually put a question out to the chat, and it says, has anyone here gone to the doctors to have a finger up their bottom? So I'm waiting some answers at that. And Winsome Hack says, no, not the doctor.
I've not had it in the arse, but I've had a camera in the pee hole. That was fun.
Oh, well, okay. That sounds like an interesting tale.
All right. This is back when I was playing. This is back when I was playing rugby. You can tell by the chins as well.
That was a different
story. Can I just say I'm glad that I've just tweeted out the link to this live stream.
This is endorsed by Neil now.
Hello, new subscribers. Dave doesn't know what the hell's going on right now.
Which YouTube stream was this, Scott?
No, I was playing. This is a long time ago. This is when I used to play rugby, and the scrum. I was lock, so right in the middle of the scrum. Scrum went down, and someone stepped where they shouldn't have stepped, and I got a stud right in the fucking right at the base of the cock. So yeah, I had to have the camera in the pee hole, and that was very no, not good. Sadly, I didn't record it for prosperity because it would have been all over YouTube by now.
What are they looking for, though? Did they tell you what they're looking for?
Well, because they thought I fucking crushed my reefer. That's why.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw.
So well, obviously there's further questions.
Well, I had some
but
local
I think
lights.
what we should do.
I was glad for the local
What we should
swelling because let's be honest, I was hung more than a fucking potato, and yeah, that was great for a couple of weeks, but yeah, it was not a good experience. Would not recommend. It's making me crazy thinking about it.
I was I can't remember what I was watching or reading or something, and there's a term that I thought was quite interesting. And if you
Don't make it embarrassing now, Andrew.
not really, but if you get to a certain age where your prostate starts giving you problems, so every now and then there's that wee that doesn't want to come out properly. That's your prostate, apparently. And when it gets really bad, apparently you can get something called retrograde ejaculation.
Yes, I've heard of this. No, I've got a.
What, they jerk you off with a bag of peroxide?
No. You apparently it goes backwards, right? And I've got a friend who's he's a type 1 diabetic, and one of the side effects of his diabetes was this. But unfortunately, he was using it as contraception. He had a third child recently.
So let's explain what happens. So apparently there's parts of your tubes get pinched by this massive thing that's grown in your butthole or somewhere. But this is it. What happens is when you ejaculate, instead of coming out the end, it goes inside your bladder. So it sort of coughs dry.
Oh no!
But it's in there with your wee. So there you go. Something to look forward to, guys. Everybody on the chat.
I want some start music playing.
Very urban dictionary.
This has turned into like.
Saying very urban dictionary.
Here you go, Andrew. This is what you wanted. You wanted a loose man. Now you got it.
Yeah.
It's not great, is it?
King
Craig wants to know, can we talk about Super Audio CDs?
Hey, we've got a pissing clue and never used one.
Someone has to invite Techmoan in.
Yeah, we need Techmoan.
I feel like we need some female representation in our chat group here. Can we invite some ladies retro to
King
take part
Monkey can do some voices.
Do some voices.
But King Monkey, you though, I don't know anybody in the chat and anybody watching who's seen King Monkey in real life. He's actually a rather fit guy, and I mean physically fit. Not I think, oh, he's fit, but maybe I do. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Can you give us like one tip that you would suggest then? A lot of men pass through your doors.
That's like a rumor that I never started.
At work. And
Oh yeah.
is there one piece of advice that you think though that everybody should do?
We're going to clarify that I work in a gym.
And that clarifies the suffix. Go on.
It's got the night off. Friday night's my busiest night. I'm here.
Is it really? Yeah. Gym nights, Friday night, Saturday night?
I would assume Friday nights is a busy night. I would assume.
Is your best advice for being fit to work at a gym?
I don't know. I always get that, but like, really, it's a busman's holiday because if I go in to actually train, half the time someone wants to speak to me about something.
Right.
It's not as, you know.
Are you like a personal trainer at the gym?
What's that?
Are you a personal trainer?
Used to be. I manage him now.
Oh, okay.
He's like a pimp.
Now, be honest with me. How many of your personal trainers are having affairs with the women?
Most of them are married. So...
Again, same question.
Apparently, that doesn't mean a fit.
True. As far as I know, no one. But ignorance is bliss, eh?
No, I started going to the gym this week, and when you walk in there, you're not really worked out in like a long fucking time. you kind of realize that you're working around people who just run rings around you. They're not even breaking a sweat, and I'm on a fucking exercise bike, looking like Jabba the Hutt is about to die. Like, and I've only been there like fucking 10 minutes, and the fucking kid on the wheelchair's laughing. How he fucking got up the stairs. I'm like, oh, get off! I don't want to go. I want to go home.
Yeah, and you're sweating like Gary Glitter waiting for his bill in PC World.
Neil on these C5.
Just his fucking hard drive. Come back.
What was the original question?
Oh no, I fucking completely lost it now.
Well, the original question I asked was really like, you know, is there anything that you think people should do less of or more of to keep in better shape?
Fucking not working out. That's one thing.
It really is down to eating. And like, it sounds bizarre, but like, I could get people to lose weight without putting them in a gym, like just through changing their eating habits. Because most people just they need to know the types of food they eat and like when they can get away with it, when they can eat certain foods. So,
oh, hang on. When they can get? You mean like it depending on time of day or something?
There's all sorts to take.
Surely this is easy, isn't it? You just don't eat.
Well, yeah. I mean,
No,
essentially.
Just stop eating. But that sucks. I couldn't do it. I can't do it.
Howard, you've just given yourself the advice and then complained about it. Listen to the expert.
Are you going for a walk, Howard? Are you taking us on a tour?
Yeah, I need a refill as well. I'm on these like cheapo cans of Jack Daniels that I picked up on the way home.
Oh, what's it? Is it a mix of something? What is it? Jack Daniels and
It's
something?
Coke, but it's pre-mixed for the lazy people.
So speaking of
buying them separate and making it.
speaking of food and stupid decisions,
they're quite strong. I don't know what you think. I think they're quite strongly mixed.
They're good for pre-drinks for concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
So speaking of food and poor decisions, shall I open this?
Yes, please do.
Yes, do it.
How's it poor decision though? I mean, that's pretty healthy out of most of the things you might eat.
What the?
Yeah. The feeling of shitting fizzy lava later is going to be wonderful.
Is it a novelty biltong?
Well, it's a Naga chili flavour biltong.
Yeah, but it's a flavour. Just eat it. Come on, get on with it.
Oh, I thought you had the American flag behind it on Dewey's engineering. I thought you had the American flag behind him there. I was like, fucking hell, with some shotguns on the wall as well for added effect.
Doesn't smell that spicy, but we'll see.
You can eat it all in one go.
Yeah, down in one.
Yeah,
down
do
in one.
It's probably gonna be lame. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crap.
Oh,
That's
Frey
disappointing.
Bentos collection.
Ooh.
I have to
Yeah.
admit, I do like a Frey
I'll be
Bentos
a
from a pound shop.
Wow.
Yeah, but they ain't the same anymore. It's mostly just fucking gravy and no meat.
Yeah, I do quite like. They do a curry chicken one, which is quite.
Kind of like sex with me.
At least it's only 2 minutes of discomfort.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. That was really disappointing. I was getting it. I was expecting it to be proper blow your head off.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah, by now you're running around like fucking Ghost Rider, but nope.
No, nothing.
Ghost Rider, what a reference! Now, actually, let's do some movie talk because Scott and Andrew are both movie fans, and Ghost Rider. Who knows any Ghost Rider facts?
They're both shit films.
Was Nicolas Cage in one of them?
Yeah. If you want to watch a good Ghost Rider film, watch Drive Angry. Like, movie.
Much better Ghost Rider film. The bit I really hated about the first Ghost Rider is at the end, the original Ghost Riders, they're going, I don't have my powers anymore, I can't do anything. And he goes, yeah, let's go for one more ride, come on then. And he's got his fucking powers. Like, what the fuck? It's dreadful. Whole film dreadful. But Nicolas Cage's career has just turned into direct-to-DVD shit, hasn't it?
Isn't it? I'm kind of trying to think, what was the last Nicolas Cage movie that was any good? I mean, what was the first one? I think apart from Raising Arizona.
Face Off. All right.
Face
Face Off was over 20 years
The
ago.
last film I saw him in, it was in the cinema, that is, it was only like one screen a day, was when he was a pilot and there was the rapture happening. I can't remember what it's called now.
Oh,
It was so boring. It was horrible.
gosh, it was a bit like that movie with the what was the movie with the guy from what was it called?
Neil, is your penis?
Yeah, I'm really scared of Neil's thing. Point Break. What was the guy Point Break and he's a chauffeur?
What?
There was another end of the world movie in and they all got on boats at the end. It was massive giant boats in like Everest.
Oh, you mean 2012? That's not got anything to do with Point Break, is it? That was 2012, the Roland Emmerich disaster movie. That was fucking awful.
There was a whole period of those, though, wasn't there? They just loved making disaster movies. Then
Yeah, Day After Tomorrow as well.
And then it used to be in the '60s cowboy movie. So what is it now? What are we doing now then? What's the kind of genre? Superhero
movies.
Yeah. And is there going to be another one of those? Is there going to be a conclusion to this whole fucking guy with the glove on?
What, Michael Jackson?
Yeah, purple guy.
Oh yeah, Thanos.
And I think Thanos was frigging right. I don't even see what was wrong with it. I kind of go,
I think you need to be careful of these views. Half the population deserve to die.
I could see his justification though. It
I'm
would save the universe.
Started using the glove, and then all the DC Universe people actually disappeared.
Ooh. I'm so bored of superhero films. I just can't be asked to watch them anymore.
I think it's quite funny that this Christmas Aquaman is going to get his arse kicked by a nanny with an umbrella.
Yep.
Oh, Becky's in the chat. Hi, Becky.
Yeah, that's it. You can guess which film's going to be wet.
I'm looking.
Fucking Aquaman.
I want to see Mortal Engines. That's the only film I'm interested
Oh,
in.
it looks a bit art over substance for me.
What, Peter Jackson? Peter Jackson goes edgy.
Mortal Engines is the trailer for pretty much every YouTube video I open at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just saw Crimes of Grindelwald, and that was actually pretty decent, I thought.
What is that in the cinema? Is that on a thing? What is that?
In the cinema.
Of Grindelwald, the Crimes of
The
Grindelwald.
last thing I watched was Overlord, and that was fucking silly.
Oh yeah, tell us about Overlord. I hear good things about
It's
Overlord.
basically, they've got the film Operation Overlord. They've taken it. They've gone to the web store, bought the Zombies DLC, and slapped it on top.
Right.
That's it. It's basically Call of Duty Zombies the movie. It's fucking silly.
But in
Yeah,
a
it was
good
good.
way.
It was good fun. Yeah, it was just dumb. It was a dumb just ride. That's all it was. It's the production's very European, and it's also very much like one of my favorite films, Hardcore Henry, where the people making it just didn't give a fuck and they just went for it, and I loved it.
Hardcore Henry is brilliant. I think.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
What's your what stands out for that in that movie? What parts?
Well,
Really?
at first it's just the how it was shot, but what really brought that thing home for me was the insane violence, but also Charlito Copley is in that film.
Brilliant.
And I don't want to spoil what his whole thing in that film, but the amount of characters he plays just makes that fun to watch, because he just grabs you and you go on for the ride. The film itself is very much like playing an on-rail shooter game like House of the Dead. It's that sort of feel where this guy's guiding you along with all this just ridiculous shit happening around you.
Yeah, he's one of those actors though you'll watch any film he's in, because he's always good. Like Stanley Tucci, he's fucking brilliant in everything.
He can be the best part in the worst movies.
But what I'm wondering is, guys, like, let's talk about keep on Charlton Copley for a moment, right? He apparently made his sort of debut in District 9, and anything he's in, like Elysium, Chappie, all of that, he's amazing. It's like if you're making an action movie and you need a bad guy who's sort of wiry and fucking scary, I think
he plays a great bad guy, but even in Hardcore Henry, he played a very funny, like, comedic relief.
Yeah, I suppose because I'm not even sure he was a good guy in that. But yeah,
he wasn't. He was just there.
He's just a guy. He's a troublemaker.
I absolutely love District 9 though.
When's the sequel coming out? Is it never going to come out?
Well, another one.
With you, District 9 is wicked.
He was going to work on Aliens, wasn't he? Before.
Neil Blomkamp. Yeah. Do you know much about that, King Monkey? Can you? Because that sounded amazing.
Just to know that he was originally looking at the script, And then there was a problem because Prometheus 2 and the Blomkamp Aliens film didn't quite match up. And then Ridley Scott's obviously got more power.
Well, hopefully Disney will be sorting that shit out.
Yeah, it's annoying because like Prometheus, I'm not a massive like.
Oh, it was awful. Prometheus was bad.
I don't mind it as much as like my mate absolutely hates it. But,
Alien Resurrection was
if I've got the choice of
excruciating.
Blomkamp Aliens or a Ridley Scott Prometheus, I want the Blomkamp Aliens.
Not as bad as Colonial Marines.
Well, let's not talk about that. But right, okay.
Prometheus was the first Alien film that Lily watched. Because I was like, Aliens is brilliant. You got to watch it. So we watched the most recent one, and yeah, it's not a good introduction to Alien.
And it's not even really part of it. It's not canon, is
No,
it?
at all, is it?
No, it's got the worst scientists ever known in it. Who the bit that gets me is right. The bit that gets me is you've got the circular things rolling like that along the ground, and they're running in front of it. They're in front of the fucking side to get away from the thing that's in front of them.
And I think really, I'd be more worried about the fact they've landed on this alien planet and they're just going around having a little scratch and a sniff of everything.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this alien.
Yeah, they are
dreadful.
dreadful. The bit is as well, right?
Put your face really close to it. That's the key.
Really fucking close to that thing that looks like a bloody egg.
One of the guys is a cartographer, right? And he's got the bloody... They make a point of showing he's got those laser things that float around and map everything. He's got a portable map. And they choose him to be the one that somehow gets lost, and he's got a map.
I've got to watch that again now. But what's really weird, if you see... someone has a YouTube video where they've read the script for Prometheus, the original script. And they say it's really brilliant. It's like it really explains everything. And when you watch the movie with the context of the full script, you get what it is and what...
To be an alien movie. Because Ridley Scott decided he didn't want to make an alien movie, and then the studio decided to interfere and had a big chunk of the script rewritten, which is why it's so uneven.
But can we agree at least one highlight of that movie was the bio bed? No.
You mean where she had an abortion in a machine set for a man?
Yeah, that one. I mean, I thought that was pretty intense. I did like that. And that sort of, what did it remind me of?
Then he uses a Rexel stapler to close her up.
I just completely tuned out with that fucking movie.
Yeah,
like,
I can't think of anything
I
memorable.
was like, if it's not aliens and I don't see bullets flying and shit blowing up, I'm bored.
But did you see the second one?
Yeah.
The second.
How about Predator? Can we go Predator? Can we go Predator just for a minute? Just the original Predator, the original Arnie Schwarzenegger. Okay.
One of the best action films ever made.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to mention Jimmy Savile there, he's the original Predator.
What, Alien versus Predator, Rolf Harris and Jimmy Savile locked in a room with a 12-year-old.
Yes, I want that film. That'd be fucking awesome.
Who does the soundtrack then?
Yeah,
It'll be Piers Morgan having a jerk in the background.
Now I'm going to have a little bit of a slightly unpopular view because I think Predator was, I think, pretty much a horror movie, horror action.
Yeah.
I really quite like the sequel. I thought Predator 2 was amazing, and I think the bit that Predator 2 that makes Predator 2 amazing is that the first 10 minutes of the movie, before you even see any Predator action, you're like, fuck, I want to watch that movie.
It's like the gang violence.
It's all these gangs. It's like the police. It's just already good. And I always think there's a lot of people who will sort of shit on Danny Glover and that. And
well, literally.
Literally, in the cut I saw. But I thought it was good, and I thought he was solid in that. The only thing that I thought maybe is a bit weak. What's that guy, Andrew? You know that mental guy.
What, Mel Gibson?
The guy who was in the meat room doing his laser thing, and he gets hit by the.
Oh, you mean
Busey?
Yeah, Gary Busey, who is
fucking
shit insane.
I can't. When he's in the movie, I think he sort of lowers it. He takes a couple of points off just for being in it.
Yeah, but in the Predator film, his son is playing the son of his character from Predator 2, who everyone really, really gave a shit about being in the sequel, didn't they?
Well, the only reason why I bought the new Hitman game because they had the contract to assassinate Gary Busey. That's the only reason why I bought that game. It's like, I get to frag Gary Busey? Hell yeah. Take my money.
But on the plus side of movies, Neil Blomkamp is working on something else at the moment. Since Aliens doesn't look to be happening for him at the moment, he's working on a RoboCop sequel connected to the original.
Oh, come on.
Oh, but not yeah. But actually, come on, Scott. That could be quite good. That could erase the RoboCop remake out of all memory.
Who gives a shit about RoboCop? It's like we got 1.5 really good movies.
Yeah, RoboCop wasn't enough.
Yeah.
RoboCop 1 was a brilliant movie. In the chat, Bazza says there's only 2 Aliens, Alien 1 and 2. And
That's quite right, Baz.
I'm going to agree with him.
Yeah, but I do have a fondness for AVP movies because they're so fucking terrible.
There's only one RoboCop movie, and that's RoboCop 1.
Yeah. What do we think of? Have you seen the Creed trailer?
I've seen Creed, the trailer for Creed 2. I was tempted to go and watch it.
I watched it last night.
Is it good?
For a sequel to Rocky 4, it's a lot more grounded. I will give it that.
Yeah, I looked at the soundtrack. I was a little disappointed to see there's no black rap cover versions of any of the montage songs from Rocky 4 on the soundtrack.
Sadly, there's no Rocky 3 gayest training montage ever, unfortunately. That's a disappointment.
Right.
And there's no steroid pumping Russians in Creed 2, which is another disappointment, but it's a cool film. But it's kind of lost a bit of its heart because the first one and the last Rocky Balboa was just a fucking nut punch from minute one. It was just like
they were great.
Feels constantly. But with this, it's a little bit more. Well, it's not full blown Rocky 4, but it's getting that way. I think the next one will be Creed fighting Transformers and shit like that. We'll see.
Speaking of that, how do people feel about Bumblebee?
Don't care. Do not care.
I think if you've seen the other Transformers, they look a mess.
All the G1s.
Bumblebee.
Yeah, that's the thing. They've all got the G1 looks and the proper transform noise to them.
Yeah.
And they transform quickly. They don't take like fucking half an hour. like in the first Transformers. Oh, Optimus Prime's transforming.
Well, not like the fucking films when they last 3.5 hours and say absolutely nothing. It's like I feel like playing a Metal Gear Solid game. It's the same premise, just yap, 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 no substance. There you go, I said it. Edgy.
On fighting films, I think the best fighting film in the last however many years is Warrior. I don't know if you've seen that.
That's good.
Excellent film.
Warrior. Is that go on, what's his name, Neil?
You know, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
He's in that.
Brothers, like the guy who plays his brother is really good in it as well.
Yeah, it's a great film.
I think we've had some conversations on this, Andrew, about Tom Hardy. I've definitely, at the sort of boot camp where I go training, Tom Hardy's name pops up occasionally from the Mad Max movie.
Oh, yeah.
At the beginning of Mad Max, when they catch him and he's escaping of that. And I'm just watching that going, he's fucking built in that. Do you know what I mean?
No, you need to watch Bronson or Dark Knight Rises.
Or Legend.
Or
Legend. Yeah. But Mad Max, I remember watching that vividly first time in the cinema, the new one, and I'm like squirming in my seat because it's so intense, and I realized, like, hang on, I'm missing something. Like, oh, I need to breathe. And this is like half an hour into the film. Like, okay, I'm good now. Yeah, I love that film. It's so intense.
I think Mad Max was the best cinema experience I've probably had in the last 10 years at least. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of those things that it hits you with sound right away, and it just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. It's just music.
It's just constant. Yeah, I loved it.
It's almost like a music video, isn't it? When you think about
Pretty
it,
much.
how it's shot, and you've got that concept of what is it, like the bullet farmer and
I just
War
love
Boys,
it. It's like,
Witness.
yeah, Valhalla and all. I love that stuff. It was, they could have replaced all of that and put like an 80s metal soundtrack and it would fit right in.
I'm just looking to see if there's a game on
You can
it.
see the whole convoy like rolling by to like Dio or something like that. It would totally fit in.
There is a Mad Max game that's a bit like Fury Road that came out.
I like the Mad Max game.
It's not bad.
It's the only one that's decent.
I almost imagine it should be like a Grand Theft Auto crossed with oh shit. Forget about it. That's crap. I've got bad
Well, it's
memory.
made by Avalanche.
Borderlands. Yeah, like GTA crossed with Borderlands. That's really what
It's
I think.
more. It's actually more GTA cross with Streets of Rage.
Or is it, it's a bit Arkham Knight in some ways.
Yeah,
as well.
it's all you do is drive around building your magnum opus, so making the Mad Max car, and then punching dirty bastards in the face. That's it. Like, come here, you fucker, bang! You know, that's all you do for like 8 hours. It's fun.
Like any night in Didcot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you remember a Mad Max style game that it doesn't get a lot of coverage on YouTube? I reckon it should. It was a game called Interstate 76. Do you remember?
Oh, it came with a force. If you had your Microsoft Force Feedback joystick, it came with a copy of that.
Yeah, that had such a good style to it. You know, it was really good. It didn't try to texture everything. You know, it was like proud to be polygon based. You know, you could see all of the corners on even the characters' faces and everything. It didn't try to be anything, but it had a really nice style to it, and it had that real 70s funk soundtrack.
Absolutely love that. I need to do a video of that game one day because it's really cool. And I think the only review in my head that someone's done it would be LGR, of course. I think that's the only time I've done one. Yeah, it's definitely worth doing it because I played that at a time where I was playing Vigilante 8 on the PlayStation, I was playing Interstate on the PC, and Carmageddon. So it's like those 3 games are very ingrained into my memory at that time. Love them.
No Need for Speed?
Nah.
No. Oh, come on.
No guns on the cars. Come on.
I was only ever into 2 Need for Speed.
Okay, I'm going to suggest a small change in spectrum here. Star Wars. So just recently watched Rogue One.
Nice.
And because it came free on Netflix. I know this is unfair of me because as a kid I loved Star Wars, but as time has gone on, I've Star Wars has gotten away from me a little bit, and I'm not sure. Is it just me, or is there something else going on here? It's not quite hitting the mark.
I'll be honest with you. I did like Rogue One because it's very much like a war movie.
Yeah, Rogue One isn't a Star Wars adventure film, though, is it?
Star Wars as a whole, for me, I don't care. I watch them. I've watched them, but whatever. But I do love some of the games. Like probably my favorite Star Wars game, even though it's not pretty much a Star Wars game.
Star Wars Connect.
No, Rogue Commander. Commando.
I thought you were going to go Dark Forces.
Yeah, I love Dark Forces.
I love Republic Commando. I played that a lot, especially on the Xbox. That's probably that's the only sort of Star Warsy thing I was really into.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm really. I will watch all the Star Wars movies, but I'm not massively into it.
Nah.
Games wise, Dark Forces had me hooked. I should really go back and visit that. It's such a great game.
Oh, and Jedi Academy played that a lot with multiplayer.
Oh, and of course, X-Wing versus TIE.
Yeah.
Just rewind, proper retro rewind moment. Sorry, but okay. So actually, you know what? Screw it. Hang on. Wait with me 1 second. Oh, drop in stuff. Right, coming back. Bang. Right, there it is.
Electron.
Yep.
There it is. Okay, my plan. Elite. Who loved Elite?
I don't know.
When I played it as a kid, I didn't understand a fucking thing of it, but I used to watch my cousin play it a lot. But now, years later, I play a lot of Elite Dangerous, so...
I loved Elite as a kid on the BBC. That was my game. I played it so much.
Mr. Dalton, thank you.
I respected Elite, but I was much more into a game called Mercenary. I don't know if anyone...
All right, so Neil, you're out.
Fine. I'm out.
Yeah, I think I was too young to really appreciate Elite on the
me
beat,
too.
but I was more of a
hang on,
I was a Frontiers. I played a lot of Frontiers.
Hang on. How were you too young to appreciate Elite on the Beat when you were the same age?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I was immature. I don't know. I was playing Chucky Egg probably and
I should be playing
kill a gorilla.
Manic Miner.
Yeah.
Manic Miner.
No, I didn't play Manic Miner because I didn't have a console computer to play it on.
Were you playing Repton?
I was playing
I'm sorry
Repton.
for pushing this one. I just saw an opportunity and I just thought this would be a funny conversation because as a kid, I absolutely adored Elite. The fact that you could leave a space station and dock in another space station, it was a nightmare, and trade stuff and, effectively build your small empire. But eventually you could buy a docking computer that took care of all of that for you.
Oh, yeah.
And that, to me, That was just lush. That was like, wow, we're you know, this is proper technology now.
But Howard, you've got to be careful.
You knew when you were the boss in Elite, when you deliberately abort a hyperspace jump into witch space to go hunt in Thargoids.
Yeah, man.
That's when you.
Craig in the chat says, "I have never played Elite." There you go.
Oh, Craig! Craig, get yourself an emulator. Have a go. Get yourself an emulator.
Howard. You're in danger, sir. You're in danger. The problem is you don't want to become elite bore. There's so many people on like YouTube and the nostalgia retro game thing, and there's new people just turning up all the time, and it's the same old thing. It's like watching those New Year's shows, you know, like the top 99 things you did in the 70s, and you've got to be careful because it's always this.
Understood. How about Repton? How about 6502 BBC Acorn Electron? How about Repton?
Repton is great, and if you think about it, it was written by Tim Tyler, who was like an 11-year-old kid. I mean,
wasn't Tim Tyler one of the kids on the BBC thing? Like one of them weird import Polish shows where they were dubbed over badly, like the Legend of Tim Tyler.
It might have been. But I mean, that was like a kid wrote that in like 2 weeks, and he's 11 years old. I mean, that's...
Yeah, he sent himself deaf from the shrill noise of collecting the diamonds.
Maybe, but think of the skills and stuff people had then, and now we can just barely play Candy Crush on our phones.
Yeah, I'm with you, Andrew. I'm with you.
In the chat, Andrew, in the chat, we've got JJXB says, "I've met the lead tester of Elite Dangerous."
Ooh.
Yeah, imagine being the lead tester of a game that covers a universe that big. How do you test that?
You basically become an e-hobo, just like drifting from planet to planet.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Didn't you used to play Eve, Scott? Was that you? You were an Eve player, weren't you?
No, I played a lot of WoW.
Was that you, Andrew?
No way.
Rob,
I don't have a sexual provocation for fucking spreadsheets. No way. No way. I think I played
them up too many times tonight.
I played the trial like years and years ago. Realized how much work you have to do just to do the basic tasks. It's like bollocks to this. This isn't a game. It's something you piss around with when you alt tab between spreadsheets. You know. No, I can't. But I do love the big battles when they have them. You know, watching people do like epic montages of these, just everything blowing up. That's cool, but no thanks.
I watched a video the other day that was really interesting. So I've never really followed World of Warcraft, but do you ever watch Today I Found Out, the guy who does like brain food and stuff like that? He did one about the blood plague in World of Warcraft, which I never knew about.
Yep, I was part of that. I couldn't load onto a single character for like a week. That was fun.
Basically, they effectively nearly wiped out everyone in the game, didn't they? By buggering up a new feature.
Yeah, it was. I think it might have been Wrath of the Lich King, if I remember. It was a debuff from a boss, and you had to pass it between players in the raid, so you could heal through it. And for some reason, the debuff would stick. So if you went back into a major hub city, everyone got the fucking debuff, so everyone was dying.
And NPCs could be infected, but they wouldn't die, so they were like perpetual plague carriers.
I managed to log in with one character before he snuffed it, and it was like a scene out of fucking Day of the Dead. Everyone was dead. It was fucked up.
Howard, I think, is going to be leaving us.
Okay. You didn't have to announce it. I was going to stealthily sneak away. At this point, I'm going to stealthily sneak away. Love you guys. What a wonderful chat this evening. We should do this again.
Yeah, well, we'll see you tomorrow, Howard. Looking forward to coming to see you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to that very much so. But genuinely, we should get together again, or maybe perhaps with a little bit more of a heads up, Andrew.
Yes, this is more of a test of the technology.
That's not how Andrew works.
No worries. Thanks, Howard. We'll do it again. See you soon, mate.
Cheers, guys. Take it easy. Cheers.
Andrew, do you want to post the link up if anyone else wants to jump in?
Yeah, that's quite a good idea. There we go. Let's post that up there. And look, Howard might not figure out how to get it off, and he's going to start dancing around in his living room with his knob out. And he'll go, "Oh, was I still on?"
No, what was amazing was how quickly you guys went. Okay, Howie's going. Let's get someone else in his place.
That was Neil.
Oh,
Remember that.
Who? Howard who?
See you later, guys. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Bless
Yeah.
him.
So have you tried Eve? Any of you in the room? What do you?
No,
Any
no.
MMO?
I'm going to make a confession, not about Eve, but about World of Warcraft. Never played it.
No,
I
I
was-
never have.
I
To
was
be honest,
always.
I don't
I was
play-
massively into Ultima Online.
Oh yeah, I love Ultima. Oh
Massively
yeah.
into that, and I think I was so disappointed by the direction that took that I just
Was you there for the
stepped
wildlife?
away from those MMO RPGs. Yeah.
I remember the wildlife purge in Ultima. Oh yeah, when they were trying to make a living, breathing world. So the agriculture, the cows would eat the grass and so on, and they completely screwed it up. Actually, if you watch, I think it's Ex Machina, there's a
There's
YouTube
a really
channel.
good video on one of those.
There's an interview with Richard Garrett talking about that mechanic and how it completely failed. It's really interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He had a book out recently, which is really interesting, Richard Garriott, because he had such success with Origin and with Ultima,
Oh yeah.
and then he had, was it Tabula Rosa or Tabula Rossa?
Yep, I played that game. It was shit.
Yeah, which was just horrible. And then I kickstarted Shroud of the Avatar, which was supposed to
Yeah,
be
me too.
the successor, and played it once and just haven't touched it again. It
I
is
played it
not.
for like a week, and it was like, I'm trying to have fun here, and I'm not having fun. What am I doing?
Yeah.
I've got an idea though, Neil, that you could use this technology for, and I think Neil, you could call yourself like Heimdall the Bard, and Scott could call himself I don't know something the Warrior, and
Gobby
and I
McGobshite.
could just have a little script here, and I'll just be the dungeon master, and I'll just sort of read out some D&D, and Scott, roll a D20 and above to cast magic missile.
A D20, that's a fucking decap. God damn, you don't know shit.
There you go. So you should be the
God's magic missile hits you in the face.
because I always was intrigued by it, and I always have my little painted character here. Like I painted up a little character and everything, and I wanted, and I don't have anybody to play. Well, it was called AD&D when I was a kid, but apparently now it's just D&D. They've dropped the advanced.
I play a lot of D&D like in my teenage years, but I was a lot like you making the figures with Warhammer. I would buy the figures, paint them, but never play the game.
You remember, I used to get letters in the post from these things trying to get me to play D&D or AD&D by post. Did you ever get those back in the day?
No.
No, and it was like you would. It was
God,
basically
how
like you,
frustrating that is! It's like you have to play a move every 2 weeks or some shit.
yeah, you'd have to make your move, write down your move, put a stamp on it, take it down the post office.
Well, JJXB says, "Oh Jesus, D&D over the internet. Last time I played that, my character died at the end of a campaign and got resurrected as a sentient zombie. I mean, that sounds amazing.
That's
how
cool.
does that sound bad?" And Mark,
And he also adds, I refuse to play WoW. I was a fan of Diablo 2, and then Blizzard went to shit with WoW. I wouldn't agree with that per se, but yeah, if you don't want to play WoW, do not play it. Because if you get addicted to it, you'll be like me and play it for 5 fucking years. Then realize what the fuck you're doing with your time.
I think the Diablo series, though, that's a great thing. King
Hell
Monkey,
yeah.
were you a Diabloer?
No, never really played it.
Oh,
Oh.
let's have a round table here. What game do you think you put the most hours into ever?
Ever.
Easy. Diablo 2.
Arc.
It's either Diablo 2, Path of Exile, or fucking Warcraft. But ones I put in willingly would be Diablo 2. I think I might have put in about 2,000 hours
Wow.
so far.
It's hard to know, though, isn't it? Because I would have thought maybe I might have done a Diablo or Diablo 2, but then when I think about it, when you sort of think of games like Age of Empires or StarCraft or Command and Conquer, I mean, among those, I'm sure they must have consumed more because I just play Command and Conquer endlessly.
I don't really
really,
track the
don't I?
time I play anymore because if you go on Steam and look how many hours you played on a certain game, I just get depressed. So I don't even look at it anymore.
King
It's enough to put you off a game.
Yeah, it is.
When I saw how many hours I'd put into Silent Hunter 3, I was like, I got to stop playing this shit.
Well, like recently I'm on a JRPG kick, and I'm thinking, oh, I really want to play Persona 5 because I still haven't touched it. I look up on How Long to Beat, which is a really nice website if you're on a tight time budget when it comes to games, and that's averaging at about 100 hours. I'm like, have I got 3 weeks to play this fucking game for a video? It's like, oh no, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. The game I clocked up a huge amount of hours on was H1Z1. And it wasn't because it was a good game, because it evolved into a really terrible game.
Yeah.
But it was just it became a social meeting place. It's just where we all went to hang out and chat.
Yeah.
And that's the reason
I
so
did
many
that a
hours.
lot I did that with DayZ for quite a bit. Played that a lot just for socializing. I didn't really like the game at all.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that does happen.
King Monkey, I was just going to ask you a question in chat, but I'll just say, I was just sort of curious. What was your... I know that you were really into consoles and whatnot, but were you a PC gamer back in the day?
Yeah, so I went from... So I had Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, then got an Amiga.
Ooh.
I can't remember which transition, but I also had a PC. So I think I must have got... I never had the Amiga and PC at the same time, so I must have like gone one for one. So when I had my PC was when all the Voodoo 2 cards were about.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
So it was all like the peak of when all the gaming happened, because I used to work in a computer repair shop, so I could buy at trade prices.
Buy it.
Yeah. I got looked after because I was a kid. So, well, I say a kid, I think I was like 16, 17, and the lads I was working with were 30, so they used to take the piss out of me all the time. Like just playing games and not actually going out drinking.
Let me ask you a question. When you worked in a computer shop,
Yep.
how many Christmases did you personally get accused of ruining?
We didn't get those type of people, although you'd get that was when also the AOL discs would go about. Fucking hated AOL discs as much as I hated the shit on their computer. Because like you'd spend ages, this is like pre-Windows 95, so you'd spend ages setting up DOS and Windows 3.11, and then they'd just fuck it up within days.
Yeah.
We've got we used to build these multimedia PCs that cost a lot of money with various cards, so trying to get all the interrupts correct and all that bollocks. Spend ages doing all that.
Yeah.
And then someone puts AOL on and just ruins it.
Just fucks it all up, yeah.
One Christmas when I worked in a computer shop, one of the guys had a blazing row with me because his son had formatted the hard disk of the new computer on Christmas morning. And apparently that was our fault, and it had ruined our Christmas. Because we explicitly didn't tell him not to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Should have been written on the case.
Well, I kind of said to the guy, we didn't explicitly tell you not to pour gravy in the computer, but you didn't do that.
Yeah. Fucking stupid.
There does seem to be quite a lot of people who worked in computer shops, though. I remember at Play Expo this year, and we were sort of chatting a little bit more candidly about our past lives, and loads of people worked in computer shops. I feel like I missed out. I didn't have a kind of job like that.
No, I worked in computers, but not in a computer shop. Speaking of gravy, the worst thing I ever poured into a computer was a pint. I poured a pint of banana Nesquik into an Amstrad CPC 464 by accident. And do you know what I was playing, Andrew? Chucky Egg.
Oh, well, if anything's going to make you...
But did the Amstrad keep working?
It was confiscated for a month. I got the computer back. I don't know if my parents sort of snuck it away and got it repaired or what, but it was fine. And I know the Chucky Egg tape was put in a cupboard out of my reach. So nothing happened to that. And then like a month later, I sort of climbed up on the worktop and stole it back out the cupboard. It worked perfectly. Worked absolutely perfectly.
Maybe this is a test for your channel. You need to get a 464. Pour a pint of banana Nesquik.
Pour some Nesquik over it, yeah.
And see if it works.
And then see how much your parents loved you. or if they just
But
give you
have
back.
you ever had a disaster like that? Have you like knocked anything over your computers or anything?
I have. I'm going to say one that's happened recently to me because I get these keyboards, and I don't think I've got one here, but it's these
keyboards,
the big Microsoft curvy keyboards, and I sort of put them away now. And it's the sort of only one I could use and not get RSI and do crazy program touch typing. And I think it was in the space of, I don't know, like less than a year, maybe 8 months, I totaled 3 of them by knocking my coffee into them. So much so that I'd sort of go into work and say, can you order me another keyboard? And they'd be like, what's happened? Dropped a coffee in it again. And it was becoming too ridiculous. I just had to stop using them. But
I've killed many Microsoft Sidewinder keyboards by drinks on them.
But you never learn, and I don't know if keyboards were more hardy. But I'm looking at these old BBC Micros and even Atari ST, all that stuff, and I remember we used to just drop all sorts of crap on them. You were kids, right? But they would just battle through it. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I got my Beebs and I took them apart to clean them up, it was a bloody biological warfare experiment under the keycaps when you pull them off. But they carried on working.
I think the worst time I ever spilt anything on an electrical item, I bought a PC specifically to play Half-Life 2 because my previous one wasn't going to run it at all. So luckily I bought it it was all pre-made through, I can't remember what company it was, but I got it. I had it for about 3 hours and I drop a fucking glass of Coke right onto it. And it seeps into the case, and next thing you know, zip, and off it goes. Like, no! I'll be honest, I was fucking bawling my eyes out. But luckily, called up the people who said, I've just got it. I've just dropped my drink on it. It's broken. Can you help me? Because I didn't get any extra things. I was a dumb teenager at the time. Luckily, they sorted me out with a new one. But yeah, that was heartbreaking at the same time because you're excited, new machine, about to play Half-Life 2, fucked it up. Oh.
And I think anyone who's worked in a computer shop, I'm just speculating because I said earlier that I didn't, but if you had someone like you that comes to you honestly and says, I've just poured my Coke all over my computer, can you help? Yeah, they're more likely to help you than someone who tries to bullshit them.
Yeah, we'll take the piss out you in the back room, but yeah, we'll help.
Well, no, I just had it delivered. I hooked it all up and fucked it completely. Oh, it was horrible.
Sorry, King Monkey.
The thing about AOL people was that they'd deny everything. Well, there's only one way it got on there.
It's a bit like Baldrick. Deny everything. Baldrick.
I remember once.
No.
You just reminded me of something, King Monkey. That's so funny. I remember once that because when you're handy with computers, you always get asked by random people or friends of family to come and fix their computer, and you get a tenner or something. So you'd be like, all right. And I remember, I can't remember who this was, a friend of a friend or something. And it must have been an older guy, maybe in his late 50s. And it had the inevitable absolute porn pop-up corruption everywhere. Do you know, as if like every single pop-up was clicked. And it was just every bit of malware, every bit of thing. And it was like, I just turned it on and it was there.
Yeah, just reminded me of the story. I went to repair a computer once, and it was a Quaker house, and it was the guy, the head Quaker guy that lived.
Oh, did he have the neck thing and the hat and
ate porridge? Yeah, he lived in a house. I went. I got him a new computer, and he wanted me to transfer his old hard disk from his old computer into the new one. I was like, yeah, okay. So I copied everything across without looking at it. And then he wanted me to install. There was a Google image program. I can't remember what it was called. It was for managing
Picasa.
Picasa. He wanted me to install Picasa, so I installed it, and it automatically started searching the hard drive for images.
Oh no! Oh no!
And these perfectly managed folders started appearing, and there was one called bottoms, and one called boobs, and one called young ladies, and one called old ladies, and it was all sort of perfectly archived into folders and subfolders.
Well, at least he's...
And then the images started appearing in the folders, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh no!
I didn't know what to say.
I've got some stories, but I have to tell you them in person. I can't talk about them. About some of the ones I've seen.
Are
But,
you under NDA or something?
yeah, the police.
Okay,
So anyway,
yeah.
yeah.
That sounds a
okay.
bit creepy.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about them ones later. But no,
I've helped out friends in the past as well because they always go to me because I'm the nerd in the family. It's like, oh hey, can you fix my laptop? And I'm like, I'm good friends with you. I've known you for a long time. I really don't want to look through your laptop, and I'm opening their laptop and turning it on with like half an eye open. It's like I don't want to see anything dodgy. But there was one where I took one look at his laptop and
Why have you got a tape measure out, by the way?
because I'm getting around.
Oh, right, okay, sorry. Yeah,
I'm fiddling. I can't help it. I've got to fiddle with stuff.
Sorry, I thought you were measuring. Anyway, yeah, okay.
Well, I'm getting a new desk tomorrow, but whatever. And this is going to get dark. I opened his laptop to reinstall the Windows, and I found a few images that were very Operation Yule Tree. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, yeah, you can have that back. I don't want to know because that's fucking grim. And then
grim.
Yeah, and he started like, oh no, it's not like that. I'm like, mate, I'm not going to judge you.
Me one way
Get
it's
that
like.
shit out of my house.
yeah.
I never got my 40 quid for that either, wanker.
What's your views, by the way, on Steam? Because there's a lot of weird, creepy-looking software on Steam appearing.
Well, what about that?
Yeah, like
what
Fat
we've been on
Boy.
about? No, that VR Kanojo game.
Haven't seen it.
I'll be honest with you. I keep mentioning test subjects. I have subjected myself to that test. It's creepy as fuck.
The one where you have to groom a schoolgirl.
Well, the anime schoolgirl, so she's in like mid-20s, but whatever.
Yeah,
but
the developers have released a patch that
I put the headset on. I played it for about 10 minutes. Like, I'm sad, alone, and dirt, and I feel really dirty. Not in a good way. Like, time to take the headset off and play something.
She's flagging in school, and you're the tutor sent to by her parents to help her. And like,
Witness me, senpai.
yeah, but like you'll say to her, go and get some drinks from downstairs. When she walks in the room, you'll deliberately knock the tray down her front so she has to get changed.
Yeah, but you are not talking about the other side of that fucking game where you hardcore fucker.
That's with the patches.
And that was like, wow, that is really out there. No.
But I think it's an interesting stance, though. I mean, if we sort of go a bit more cerebral on it, I mean, if it's a platform responsible for it, I mean, it's a global platform, and that's maybe the cultural norms in Japan. I mean, it's really hard.
But
Should they be police
though,
or not?
Yeah, but equally fair to Steam, the hardcore version of the game isn't on Steam. To get the full hardcoreness of it, you have to go to the developer's site to unlock it.
But I can see how they're sort of, because the people were like giving them a lot of flack, weren't they, for just allowing stuff? But they're like, oh, they probably have, certain guidelines that they make sure everybody is. But for example, if there's a really crap game, they'll still let that's on Steam.
And there is a lot of that sort of like
shovelware
and
pulpy porn shite is on there. But
I suppose that
you buy what you want.
I suppose with Steam, their only obligation is to make sure a transaction isn't illegal and there's something fraudulent about it. As to the quality of the game or the content, as long as it isn't illegal, then what's it matter?
Well, I played a game recently which is highly sexual called Super Kinky, and it's pretty much an arena shooter where you use sex toys for weapons, and it's fucking dumb, but it might have been the most fun I've had in a long time.
Is it a good game though? Is it got a pretty a good engine and stuff in it?
Not really. It's a Unity engine, and it feels like a Unity game. It's stuttery as all fuck.
Yeah.
But the game itself, you can tell that people who are making it, yes, they're trying to go for the meme crowd and all the YouTubers screaming about it, PewDiePie baiting basically. But the game itself was kind of silly. All right, for £2. I'm not going to really complain for £2. If it was 20 quid, I would be pissed off. But it's all about the price point as well.
Would you think then? Would we all agree here then that we're almost going through what's the opposite of a renaissance? If you remember back in the late 70s, 80s, whenever it was, when they had the video game crash because everybody was producing any old shite. And only companies like maybe Nintendo or something, Nintendo sort of grew out of that with their really draconian licensing rules.
Yeah.
That really made sure that every title on their system, or hopefully,
Mm.
was a good one. Do you think now it's going to go the same way, where it becomes there's so much shit out there we won't even know what games we want to buy anymore?
I
And we'll
don't
just stop
know
buying
if
them.
it will crash, but I think the minutia and the white noise of the constant indie games coming out that just 5-minute tripe will come to a point where no one's making any money because there's just so much shit out there and no one's buying. So I don't know about another video game crash.
Situation for a very long time in
Yeah.
the mobile games market.
Yeah.
And I very rarely dip into mobile games, and I did recently, and I played some of the mini clip games. I think it was like Fighting Golf or something. Like every game that I installed, it was just like a gambling machine.
Yeah.
And it was shortly after that I was sort of experimenting with games on the mobile market that the news story came out. I think it was last week about the percentage of underage gamblers has now increased so much.
Yeah.
And the link is so obvious
Yeah.
to those mobile games and to gambling. It's just ingrained in those games.
And even
Something
if you're
has to be done about it.
And even if you're not gambling real money, that same, like, the perfect example would be Overwatch with the loot boxes and the burst of all this cool shit flying everywhere. You're chasing the endorphins, but then you start getting addicted, and that's when the kids are starting getting their little mobile games they keep spending their money on. And
What I do wonder about as well is, has digital content created somewhat of a debt problem in the country? And the reason I'm saying that is, it's very easy to spend money digitally where you're receiving no physical item in exchange for it. So a kid spends 20 quid on virtual coins for whatever game, but how is that really any different? Because that's like picking up a power-up in the game almost.
Yeah.
You don't have anything tangible.
Craig in the chat has just said, we get a lot of unblock requests for mobile gaming sites at work. And I remember in my last job, the managing director had been using, because when he left, we had to trawl through his email. He'd been using a company credit card to buy Clash of the Clans credit.
Oh, what a little fucker.
You know, so it's not just kids that are getting hooked on this mobile gaming crack.
Well, I've never really got into that. I play a lot of Warframe, and I think I've only spent probably a tenner, and that's it. Everything else I've played in that game has been I've grinded for or acquired. I've never had the incentive to buy, even though Warframe and Path of Exile are normally quite fair with their prices and stuff like that. You're not buying just shit for it. You get decent amounts of content. I have never been incentivized to buy anything from them.
But do you think it's actually it's almost like social media though, isn't it? It's that because now you are visible in the game among your peers, that encourages the kids to want the latest hat or some shit like that in the game. Whereas maybe in the olden days they'd have saved up for their, Adidas trainers. So are you maybe it's just really transferring it. Maybe we always spent money on bollocks, but now
I don't know. I mean, John makes a good point. Is that the other thing when you because you're physically not handing anything over when you're making a digital purchase, you haven't got the loss of knowing you had a £20 note in your wallet and you haven't got it anymore.
Yeah.
But maybe also there's another downside for all of this, and if you like collecting real games and old hardware, I think King Monkey's got a collection of carts and whatnot. They're not going to exist anymore. You might not even be able to play that game.
Well, a prime example was it's that fucking it was an RTS game where you use cards to move units and stuff. It was an EA game, and I had a friend of mine
Lawbreakers, and you can't play that.
Yeah, Lawbreakers. That's another example. But my friend of mine, who I can't remember the game was called now, he said to me, "You must have spent like $2,000 on that game." I was like, "You what?" It's like $2,000 on that fucking game. It's like, yeah, but I loved it, and I wanted to get more packs and like, because that was the incentive to get better packs. To a bit like that other fucking TCG. I can't remember now. I'm bad with names. But it's like, why spend that much money? It's like, it blows my mind, man. It really does. But then I can turn around and be a hypocrite because I've got like 1,000 games on Steam. So,
Yeah, I think one of the things is is though. I mean, with this goes back to me recently getting back into PC gaming. It's a lot better value. I'm finding buying older titles on Steam.
And always go for the sales. The only thing I subscribe to now is the humble monthly bundle, because normally the games they give you are fucking great for that price. That's like £12 a month. That's the only thing I really go for now, unless it's like
that's a reasonable thing. But I do think that they should. I think that when it comes to games in shops, I think there should be government legislation actually around, as strange as it sounds, around certain editions of the games, because it is ludicrous. It is though, isn't it? You see the kids.
Who wants to talk about Fallout 76 in their little special edition?
Well, you see,
and
like
the fucking rip-off merchants they are.
Well, the Halo 5 edition that came out had a little plastic figure worth about £1 in China to make them, and they were going for like double the amount, and it's just like.
Funny you mentioned that. I had a friend of mine who was pretty much an elephant for AAA gaming. So he would buy everything, and he bought the full whack statue thing for Titanfall. He bought the game with all that shit. He brought it into the flat. He put it down on the floor and never touched it. He didn't touch the game. He didn't open the box. He left it there. I'm like, why did you buy it? It's like, well, I pre-ordered and I just thought it was cool. It's like, you've never taken it out of the box. It's like, we got shelf space here. Just take out. In the end, I took it out of the box. It's like, fuck it. I'm going to put it up somewhere. It's like, that's madness to me. So why spend that much money for something that you're not going to play?
But
especially for a multiplayer only game.
It's amazing though how kids who don't have the money as such will be desperate for the ultimate super collector's edition that has one digital skin that's a bit different.
I don't give a shit about collector's editions, and I don't really give a shit for pre-ordering, because they try to incentivize you to pre-order so you can just buy the game and be bitterly disappointed, or you can wait for launch day or post-launch day and pick it up when you know it's going to fucking work.
Yeah, they drop so quick in price as well.
Yeah,
definitely.
And this year, the whole year, I've only bought one full price game, and that was a dumb mistake, and that was fucking Dynasty Warriors 9, and that game was a piece of shit. So yeah, I don't buy brand new games anymore. I may buy Resident Evil 2 when it comes out next year, but that's because nostalgia and blah blah blah.
Well, I've got a question. I've got a question for the panel. I've got a question for the panel.
Yeah, good.
Because there's going to be some people here watching, wondering what to buy their kids to play on this Christmas.
Well, Manhunt.
Manhunt.
I get it on the PS2, Xbox, PS2. Pick it up
on a PS2.
Bit of a bargain thing for any parents or people buying things for kids. I just bought a Nintendo Switch for my niece for Christmas. And if you keep an eye on eBay, they keep having these like discount codes. They had a 15% off code, and I got a brand new one actually from Argos themselves through eBay. So I paid $237 for a brand new Switch.
And I think the Switch is a really good console to get hold of. I mean, there's nothing wrong
I sold
with it.
my own.
Did you? You heretic.
Yeah, but she's a 9-year-old kid. I mean, it's an ideal console for a 9-year-old.
But you're not a Nintendo fan, Scott. That's the problem. But...
Well, yeah, true. And you see these things here? I like my thumbs, and when I played that, I felt like an 8-year-old man, because these thumbs get cramps very quickly, especially those fucking shitty Joy-Cons.
Pro controller. Anyway, let's not get into that. King Monkey, what's your recommendation, sir? Then for if you're gonna your Christmas present.
It's the way forward for I would say for most kids like I say of a reasonable age, because obviously you need to be able to figure it out. But any kid that's 10 years old, well, I've got an 8-year-old nephew. He plays Switch. He plays Fortnite on PS4.
So you'd what would you recommend as a title if someone's going to buy an actual game then for their kid?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because kids are some kids will play one thing, some kids won't play anything. So. When I was a kid, I'd just play platformers, most of the time. I won't really play, RPGs, even though, we had Shining in the Darkness, and my mate was well into that. But, I'd just play platform games. I'd play Castle of Illusion and Quackshot and that. So, it's hard to say, they're all got different tastes. So,
I think you're pretty safe though with
Fortnite. It's not for me.
yeah. But with a younger kid, you're pretty safe with your classics, your Mario Kart.
Right, the good thing with Nintendo is you could leave a kid unattended with a Switch. Nothing's going to happen. You know, that's the thing. They can't really get very far, like parental controls and all that sort of stuff. Like,
you're right. It's a reassuring platform for that, and they love the IP. They love like Andrew said, the Mario and all those things. But my kids, we're talking about 5 and 7. We got it on the Switch first, but then I subsequently got it on the Wii U. Was Zelda Breath of the Wild, and they just absolutely love that game now, and they just continuously talk about it. But it's actually come over into real life now. They've got into cooking food and got into like choosing their wardrobe because it's just stuff they're emulating in the game. So I'm really pleased with that.
Do they have the music on their phone when they put the things into the frying pan?
Yeah, just throwing my phone into the sink.
So, lactose
sorry to interrupt. In the chat there, Rick Alicious says they all want to play Fortnite at the moment. And that's true. I mean, my 6-year-old nephew, all he wants to do is play Fortnite. So my brother's bought him a PlayStation 4 for Christmas, and a VR helmet as well for himself. So he's going to play just so he can play Fortnite. He's been massively into Minecraft, but now he wants to play Fortnite.
Oh, we've banned Fortnite. I've got it on the Switch, but I've put on the parental control thing on it, and I've steered the kids to Zelda. And if there's a day where they don't want to play Zelda, Minecraft. I think Minecraft's a pretty solid.
Let's be honest here. Raise your kids right. Let them play Warframe.
Warframe. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've said to him, he's a 6-year-old. It doesn't matter how much you try to restrict the game, you're going to get abuse down the headset. So
I can't be asked for that shit.
I used to play Need for Speed. What's the one? Oh, I think it's the Rivals on PS4. Last time I was properly playing online, and then you get some adults that have let the kids play on it.
Squeakers.
But yeah, and you're like, turn the pissing microphone off because it's fucking annoying.
I don't play any multiplayer games anymore. Even though I play Warframe, it's mostly if I'm playing with a friend or I'm playing solo. I can't be fucked with multiplayer games anymore.
No, I mean this was something that happened a few years ago with my nephew, my wife's sister's son. He got onto Xbox Live and he was a proper little brat on Xbox Live to the point he was getting consoles banned. He had so many accounts, actual live accounts banned on the console. Microsoft resorted to banning the consoles.
Wow.
And his mum would say, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It's only a bit of fun online," and buy him another Xbox.
Fuck me. You know what you need to do? Be a better mother.
Yeah.
Well, you say that. My parents got me. I can't remember how old I was. I wasn't that old, but for one birthday present, they got me Leisure Suit Larry 3.
Oh hell yeah!
Passionate Patty in pursuit of the pulsating pectorals. So my recommendation this Christmas is Leisure Suit Larry: Wet Dreams Don't Dry. Buy that for your kids, everyone.
I don't
was playing it, so yeah, I was considering that.
I have my perspective because I don't have any kids. When I was growing up, I had Sonic and all that shit, and you probably know this by now, I had to play something that had a bit of darker twist to it. So I would play, I think my biggest like Christmas memories on Christmas Day, I had one year I had Splatterhouse 1 and 2 on the Mega Drive. That was a good Christmas. And I think the one that stuck with me the most, and I wanted to do a Christmas episode this year, but I don't think it's going to happen now, was the Immortal.
Oh, wow.
That game is fucking brutal.
Immortal.
But I loved it. Yeah. I never, well, I think I beat it. It took me 2 years to beat it. I remember that vividly because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm there trying to fucking get through the game, and I finally beat it. And I just like, yes, and just started losing it. And I woke up the whole house because I was just so happy I beat that game finally. Yeah, that game was pretty brutal.
So
but when
I used to Mortal Kombat, I'm sure it was as well. And like the books made about it.
I think it may have been around the same time, like 93, 92.
This is the Immortal. You're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, 1991 here. It's on the abandonware
91.
site.
Wow. Yeah.
It
So
looks
would
like a
be
sort of
before.
Diablo isometric.
Very much Diablo, but the combat.
Yeah, no real fuss made about it.
No, it's just straight up brutality, and it likes to fuck with you hard. And don't play the MS-DOS version, because in that one you can't even continue the game when you die. If you die, you go right to the start of the game. Oh, yeah, it's it's fucking horrible. But another memory I have, I used to babysit my nephews quite a bit, and my youngest nephew, at this same time, I was playing the demo of Resident Evil 2, and I brought that over, and I'm playing it on my own, and all of a sudden he's come out of his bedroom and come down, in the middle of the night. I'm like, Jake, what are you doing here? I was like, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. It's like, all right, sit down. He said, what are you playing? I said, I'm playing Resident Evil 2. And next thing I know, he's the one playing it, but he's not playing it fully. He doesn't really understand the game. He liked the sound of the pistol you start off with the game. He just loved the sound. So all he would do is hold the R1 button and keep hitting the X button just to hear the sound. And he'd just laugh his head off while shooting the gun. But yeah, that's probably the earliest parenting thing I had. And raise those kids well. They're not serial killers.
My parents bought me Viz for the Amiga, but I had no idea what it was.
Well, me personally, if I have kids or I've been brought up in this way, I'll let them play what the fuck they want.
But it's interesting. I think it's nice when the kids kind of respect it, because I've got quite a lot of more adult themed games.
Yeah.
But it's funny because my kids say, Daddy, we can't play this. And I bought them something. I can't remember what it was. I said, why can't you play it? They said, because it's a 12.
Because we can't read Japanese.
It's a 12. Yeah.
But as long as they're aware of what the content is and what you see on the screen is not real.
I think you've got the potential with young kids though for giving them nightmares and stuff, and I think it's more of that. I'm not worried about them going out to be a serial killer playing a zombie game, but it's more likely that they're just going to get freaked out and be scared of the dark. So I think you've got to be careful on that.
Podcast where I never got anything, pretty much my childhood was not censored.
Yeah, mine too.
RoboCop, pretty much we get sent to the corner shop to buy cigarettes for my mate's mum. And we'd get 18 certificate videos because he knew if we couldn't get it, it's my mate's mum would just come and get it anyway. So he just used to let us rent them. So I think Puppet Master and Freddy Krueger's and all that.
Oh, I watched a lot of horror when I was young, and
I've only ever killed one person.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, my sister used to work in a My sister used to work in a Blockbuster, so every Monday she used to babysit me when I was about 7, 8 years old. We would watch pretty much everything: RoboCop, Predator, whatever. Yeah, they were good times, and I never. All right, the only time I did get freaked out was when I first watched Night of the Living Dead. And I had zombie dreams of them ripping me apart for years, but whatever, a little bit of damage psychology for a fucking good movie.
I grew up in a house with a God-fearing Irish father, so it was you guys. I had to come to your houses to watch them.
Well, when I was young, I lived on quite a nice housing development, and one of my friends lived just around the corner. His dad was heavily into satellite TV, and this was back in there where most people just had Sky, but he actually had a motorized dish. And his dad was into films, and we thought, oh, brilliant. So in the summer holidays, while his parents were at work, we'd go over his house, and he had this big wooden cabinet in the living room full of videos, and each one was labeled up and his dad would record 2 films on a tape. So I'd watch RoboCop and then Eddie Murphy Raw, and we'd work our way through the cabinet watching them. Well, my friend discovered when he was putting a tape back, the back of the cabinet was loose.
Oh dear.
And there were a load more videos behind the back of the cabinet.
Of the porn variety?
They were of the adult content variety. So the double features changed from watching we'd watch a Hollywood
Talk about
film.
going in raw.
Yeah, we'd watch a Hollywood film and then an adult film, and working our way through the cabinet through the school holidays. 5 of us would go over the house. Until the day where we saw someone put his penis into his own vagina. We thought his dad... Yeah.
What?
His dad had a few hermaphrodite porn films.
Well, you know, it's an acquired taste. I
And you know
guess.
what?
I'm curious from a biological standpoint, or
His
you
money's
know.
worth out that motorised satellite dish, isn't he?
It'd be cool to be an hermaphrodite, and someone tells you to go fuck yourself. So yes, I can. You.
Well,
cunt.
that's what we watched, and I tell you what, it put us off watching adult content for a while. we were down the exactly Rickalicious. We were down the park on our bikes instead for a while.
Just to get the memories out of your head.
Yeah.
It can't be real. I didn't see that. It can't be real.
It was, but the problem was the whole thing was like, oh my god, what is that?
Now, guys, I'm gonna ask this on live on air that Neil, I nominate you, and Neil tried to decline in the chat, but I think you have to do this thing like, remember that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, that if you die, you're having a heart attack, you need to nominate a friend who's going to come round your house.
Oh, I thought you were nominating me based on the hermaphrodite porn discussion.
No. That if there's any grot or something that you don't want anyone to discover, they've got to come round and sort of clear it out for you.
No. This was an idea I had for a product, a smartwatch app that's linked to your home computer, and it basically if you died, it sets off a file on the computer that just wipes all your porn.
This episode of RetroManCave is sponsored by Spank Alert.
If your face is certain death, have this app on your phone and it will kill your computer. No one will ever know what fat material you have on your hard drive.
To do it.
It sounds like something that Google will want to monetize to get some of the data
definitely.
on. So it'll also be a FAP monitor, and you'll be sharing it with your friends. You've got all those
Google.
goals, like a Fitbit for pervs.
Google fat.
Google FAP, FatBit.
Wow.
I'm trying to think, what would
money?
what would the milestones be? Because I'd have to set the heart bar.
Mapmyfacts.com.
You would definitely have to. Those milestones would have to be something amazing, because I think a lot of people are pretty much Olympic athletes at that particular sport.
Will it have an extra meter for amount of tears shed while fapping?
Tears shed. Sad face.
Oh, pranking.
They'll work microtransactions into this.
Yeah, you get a funny hat for your bell end or whatever.
Funny hat.
You can feel a little less self-pity and despise.
I'm crying while self-flagellating, but at least I got a cool hat on your bell end.
Yeah. Well, this took a dark turn, didn't it?
What's the Melty Man? Sorry, there's a thing in the chat just popped up, and all I see is Melty Man. What's that about? Same people who came up with Sock Gap, the Giggle Loop, and the Melty Man. Oh, coupling. That was coupling, wasn't it? The Giggle Loop. Do you remember that one?
No.
That was an episode, I think, where there's a weird guy in it. I can't remember. Was he Welsh?
Yeah.
I can't remember the Giggle Loop is. It's something like if you're at a funeral or somewhere it's really inappropriate to laugh, but you'll catch your mate's eye and he'll look at you in a weird way. And you just do a little giggle, but then they might do a little giggle, and that loop just amplifies till you're all just fucking laughing. Oh.
I can't help it. If I get awkward, I start laughing, and it's. I'm doing it now.
Andrew, you can make Craig a chat mod if you want. He's our resident chat mod. He's good enough.
I will. I was just thinking though that I think it's a very British thing to use humour because, unfortunately, I know at least one person who's ill with I think a pretty terminal illness, but because you can't sort of handle it. I always just joke all the time, and I like it that person actually responds to the jokes better because they're fed up of hearing all the "so sorry you're dying" sort of thing. But do you think that's a British thing? We don't express our emotions like an American or someone might?
I do it quite a bit as well. We're constantly, you could be staring at the face of annihilation, but you're going to say some sort of dumb one-liner before you go.
Yeah.
Ooh, I've got another Facebook bot. Yeah, hello. You look too good looking to be my friend. Goodbye. There you go.
There's all these sad ladies now going, I'm rejected.
Yes.
So, hey, I saw you on that stream.
Why won't Scott talk to me?
And it's the same person. They've just got a strategy. They keep changing their Facebook accounts and names just to say hello.
No. It's this harem of all these really busty models who go, you won't talk to us. Damn it, you try. You try.
That's like a fucking black... It's like, what's that fucking show called? It's like...
like a Black Mirror. Black Mirror.
Oh, that'd be funny to do a YouTube video where all these like random spam bots are actually trying to add me and they're real people, not just bullshit. And I'm complaining that I'm going to be forever alone and I'm turning people down constantly. Fucking 1 million views that video, I'm telling you. Viral.
Exactly. But so Rickalicious says coupling is amazing. I never really watched it. And but Rickalicious also says the British coping mechanism is to make fun of things. It is sarcasm. Is most people's coping mechanisms, I think.
Yeah.
I can imagine though if you're even if you're just normally ill but really ill with something that's going to last you like 6 months, you do get fed up probably people being sorry for you, don't you? Maybe it might be fun at the beginning, get a bit of attention, but then it's like
when I was long-term ill in that I couldn't walk, I started getting really arsey by people doing things for me. Though it maybe seemed unreasonable at the time. But I started getting arsey because I didn't want people bringing me drinks. I didn't want people making my tea for me. I didn't want people going to the shops for me, because I just couldn't do anything myself because I couldn't walk. I couldn't carry a drink around the house. And then I had this awful, awful time when I was on crutches where I fell over and I couldn't get up. And I was in the hallway in my parents' old house. I had a really, really big hallway. And there was literally nothing in the hallway for me to lift myself up. And I had to crawl through the house to find something to pull myself up onto. And it's that kind of loss of I think it's the loss of dignity. I think when you're long-term ill as well, it makes you feel you're losing who you are.
Yeah. Were your parents behind you looking at you and we better not help him?
Yeah, exactly.
He's a
exactly.
You're married.
Yeah.
Why is he dressed like Lara Croft as well?
Yeah. But it does happen if you've I mean, it wasn't anything that bad in that. I mean, I got better. It wasn't cancer or anything. It was my foot was crushed. But
fucking hell, that's horrible. Crushed.
Yeah, my foot was crushed. And I ended up having
in dreams.
Yeah, I ended up having to have all surgery and metalwork put in my foot to put it back together, and I had to learn to walk again. But I can see where some people have got long-term illnesses where it's the feeling of helplessness, especially if you've been quite an independent person before.
The problem is with when I'm doing stuff on YouTube and I'm making my own brand of humor, I wouldn't say jokes because they're not funny. I use sarcasm quite a bit, and there is a certain troop of people across the pond, not blaming you, America, I love you. Your president's a fucking idiot, but whatever. Ooh, dropping the bombs. They don't get sarcasm at all. So if I'm doing a review and I say something snarky, they're normally the first one to say, hey, what do you mean, buddy? I'm like, no, it's a joke. I don't mean it. I'm just taking a piss. It's like, And yeah, it's annoying when you are dry humor. When you use dry humor a lot and people don't get that you're being dry, that can be annoying.
Yeah, if people don't get the humor, it can be seen as being quite offensive. But I don't know. I guess it's one of the good things about YouTube with so many people being content creators.
Yeah.
But at least you can find someone who fits your niche, and maybe that's where you make a personal connection that you feel to those people.
But actually, I remember, and Andy, the first interaction we had when we did the Alien Colonial Marines stream.
Yes. And
everyone's saying like, I can't stand like sarcastic based YouTubers. And like, shit, what am I doing here? I need to jump out a window. Fuck. They don't know yet, but they're gonna find out.
Just be who you are. That's the most important thing.
Oh, that was funny.
That's the most important thing. Or just dress very smartly with a nice beard like Neil.
Well, I was going to say a large percentage of my audience is not American and is not British, so their first language is not English. So
that's odd.
Yeah, I mean,
Weird.
probably like 45%, I think, is American.
Right.
Fuck
Well,
yeah.
I'll roll back a bit. I'm probably going to say about 35% is not native English speaking. And so for that reason, you got to be careful. Well, I have to be careful with sarcasm and with innuendos and things like that. And I do try, I do have a dry sense of humor, and I do try and slip it in there sometimes.
You don't do many knob gags on you. You don't do many knob gags on the channel.
I don't do many knob gags on RetroManCave, I have to admit. But say people don't get sarcasm.
Yeah, I'm always trying to go for the edgy dollar, I guess, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I would say though, Neil, your channel's very family friendly, and that's the way you always try and keep it.
Fuck off, Andrew.
I'm just trying to understand while you're talking about YouTube demographics. I'm just trying to actually figure this thing out. I don't know if you can see that on your screen.
Nope.
But there's these I say they're new. They've been there for ages. These weird sort of graphs that try to tell you stuff. And this one is telling me that my core audience is between 35 and 44, and male apparently.
Yeah, my channel is a complete sausage fest as well.
A complete sausage fest.
Yeah.
So I need
Sausage party.
It's like a butcher shop window on my fucking episodes.
So I think
sausage everywhere.
If we move away from this male end and we focus on the female end, I think that's going to be the target.
What's your percentage of female viewers, Andrew?
My percentage, does it give me an actual ratio?
I love that.
Okay, so on average, the best ratio is 16% in the 18 to 24 year group. But in the male sort of heavy group is the sort of 35 to 54, where the females are less. So it's the younger ladies, and my overall female viewership is 2.1%. Really? So yours is really low.
Yours?
Mm-hmm.
God. You can make the most obscure computer sound sexy, so I don't know why. That should be higher than that.
And I'm just trying to find out, how do you see where they're from, what country? And you'd think playback locations would be the right one, but that's just where YouTube is sending them from, like the watch page or external. So I'll have to go through that at some point. But actually, demographics, fun. There's some really great infographic YouTube channels which I've caught myself watching when I'm watching graphs. But actually, Scott, you made a point this week earlier about something about not getting enough views or whatever it was, nothing. And I said
one of my usual flaps.
You were going, "Oh, I'm going to give up YouTube." And but I said your subscriber to watch ratio, though, I bet is way higher than mine. And you said no, but it was. Do you see what I mean? And that's good. That means you're getting a lot of good engagement from people who watch you regularly, and that's
and
nice.
I do have and I do have people who do watch me regularly, and I would love to do more stuff surrounding the test subjects. There you go. I've nicked the cave dweller idea now. I do apologize. And that's my thing I want to improve upon, because talking to people in comments is fun, but I don't really know them any deeper than that. So that's why I'm starting to do the streaming thing, so they can hang out and we can just talk bollocks for hours,
Well, I could give you some advice. Post vapid tweets on Twitter about Sega or retro gaming, and that would be the most popular tweet that you do in a month's time.
I don't mind people using that for views and stuff, and people are really into it, but when it's used to the point where it feels false, I'm not buying it.
Hashtag NHS is wank.
I will say though, we've got less dislikes on this stream than the current digitizer video.
Oh,
don't tempt them. I might even downvote this myself now. You got one downvote.
I do. There is a weird thing on Twitter. I'd like to just continue the Twitter thing a bit. And King Monkey's a big Twitterer. Whatever you call it. But something I noticed on Twitter, it's a really weird platform, because it's like Facebook, where it tries to encourage you to follow everybody or subscribe, or whatever its equivalent is. And I've done the opposite. I've dropped everybody pretty much unless I met them in real life or know them.
Yeah.
And the problem is, I realise this, that it becomes a kind of a weird platform where people are tweeting about their things, their videos, and I do it, I post it there.
Yeah,
but you kind of think you're spamming people you know.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really encourage growth, does it? I mean, I see the same tweets about Atari ST games from games you really like or whatever. I'm not picking on any particular one, but it's like a cut and
they were on
paste.
my channel this week. Don't diss them.
Who? Sorry.
Games you loved. They were on my channel this week.
No, but I'm not really I didn't mean them specifically, but I don't know if you get if anybody notices this or gets this, and it's kind of like, are we all just spamming each other, like the same group? Say the same 5,000 people are spamming each other continuously. Where are we going to experience growth on that?
It's when you start, because I learned this from Dan Slope's Game Room. I've been chatting to him briefly, and he's his background is online marketing, and he said to me, yeah, it's good to put your video up on your page, but everyone knows you're preaching to the choir. You need to start you start throwing those links out to the interest groups, using the hashtags, even though it's a dirty word, but it kind of makes sense. It's like, yeah, I am preaching to my own choir. Why am I bothering doing that when I can try and bring more people in? So you make some really good points about it.
Yeah, it's just a weird one, and it's the same thing on the sort of Facebooks, and every now and then a new group gets created, and you just find yourself invited into one.
I can't stand Facebook. The only reason why I have it now is because of work, because I'm part of the online marketing for where I work. But yeah, that annoys me. I get a friend's request from some random person who's mutual friends with people I know, such as you guys. So I thought, okay, he's probably watched our stuff, And then 5 minutes later, I'm getting invited to random Johnny's retro gaming dick fest or whatever. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. If he messaged me and said, hey, I have this place, would you like to hang out? I'd be okay. I'll give you a day or two. But if you just add me and then try and auto add me to your group, piss off. I'm not interested.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, what a rule I try to follow is just to put original content out there, whether it's a tweet or in my videos or whatever, is to put new stuff out there as much as possible. So, I try and walk around my wooden shelves and get a different shot, a different angle of a video game, because everyone's tweeted every video game 1,000 times before.
Yeah.
I try and present it in a slightly different way if I can. And then I do always, when I release a video, put out new video and promote the early access stuff that patrons are looking at to try and get new patrons on board. It's a fine balance, isn't it? One thing I don't do, and perhaps it's because I'm not big enough yet and I may have to do it further down the line, is that I do manually tweet everything that I put out there. I physically walk up to a game, take a picture of it, tweet it, and then if people reply, it's me responding. And
it's something
automated about what I do.
Maybe you should outsource your Twitter management.
Well, I know there are more efficient ways to do it, but as a consumer of tweets myself, it's very obvious to me when something's organic and when something's automated.
Yeah, and I've learned that from me as well. Yeah, if you can try and make it more inviting at the first bite, at the tweet, then people are more inclined to watch it.
Or I reckon do an experiment and just not tweet. Just say I'm going to spend like a month not tweeting, not doing anything. See if it makes any difference or no difference at all. And if it's no difference, then just don't bother doing it. Do some other.
Well, especially now I've got a community page. I've been using that quite a bit, So it's now they've brought Twitter into YouTube and all the other useless shit they put in recently, like Snapchat.
But Scott, you've seen, right? It's really clear. If you look at the really great YouTube channels, right? There's a lot of them out there. Look at their Twitter accounts. Some of them are just fuck all. It'd be like literally 1,000 people, and they don't use it. It'd
be like Blue Spoonie, who tweets every 30 seconds about shit no one cares about. Kind of like mine in that respect.
Well, this goes back to engagement as well. They're saying where you can have like more people watching than how many subscribers you've got. Twitter can be the same. You can have more engagement with people with lower accounts.
Yeah.
It all depends on the content. I see, like, I don't want to go down too much of a rabbit hole, but like the female streamers will have they don't always have like loads of followers, but they'll get massive high engagement because every time they post a picture of like anything, you'll get a group of lads just commenting nice pictures.
Oh, yeah.
You know, not nasty comments, not always comments, but like you'll have like single comments. There's high engagement even with low amount of Twitter followers.
I see that quite a bit as well, and it's maddening from my point of view because I'm trying to make content and they're trying to make content as well. But it's just the vapid bullshit around them as well. It's like they're trying to make a content just like me, but you got all these idiots like, oh yeah, shows your tits, man. It's like, fuck off, you assholes. You're bringing the whole fucking civilization down a peg. Knock it off.
I don't know, Scott. You do have some nice tits, though.
It just does my head in, man.
I think it's a really weird double-edged sword, and there's a lot of some of these Twitch channels where the girls are dressed pretty provocatively.
Yeah, there are people who are doing it and they're self-aware.
Yeah, and then on the other hand,
there was a new lady entry into the retro gaming community this week, releasing some videos. Did we follow late decade?
Yeah, late decade. Talk about a fucking splash, jeez.
Sorry.
Isn't it?
I have heard from unnamed sources that she is very familiar with a decently sized YouTuber anyway. So yeah,
I did message him. Yes, I messaged him the video. I was like,
would you say intimately familiar?
Well, yeah, but
my message to him was, why is there a lady in your conservatory with your television YouTube channel?
In a catsuit.
Honestly, after I watched it, because at first I thought, oh god, here we go again, you know, boobs of views and all this shit. But when I watched the video, I thought, actually, that might be one of my favorite videos I've watched in a long time, because yes, it was informative, but it also had a bit of like down to earth, friendly banter with it. You know, I'm trying to do that with my own content, where I'm trying to be a little bit informative but goofy at the same time. And there's either someone just talking bullshit for 8 minutes, or there's someone so dry you just like, and you just completely zone.
My concern was that it was an experiment by the other YouTuber into how people respond to females in the community. But as it happens, having spoken to him, no, she's done editing for him for like 3 years plus. She's genuinely interested in the subject, and she just wants to make a go of it herself. So fair enough.
And that's something I want to say is like, people who get all antsy about a lady getting into this as a hobby, as a career, etc., fucking leave it. It's like, they want to do it, they have a passion for it, fucking get off their back. I see a lot of people, if they want you to live vicariously through them, fucking enjoy the ride. And the stream has gone quiet.
There we go.
No, I agree.
And you get this in some of the YouTuber network things on Facebook. The people who say, I want to be a YouTuber. And yes.
Yeah.
Anything but fame.
And they don't want to put really any work into it at all.
Yeah, and I've had people not say that directly to me, but I said, I've done this for, well, this channel especially, for 6 years. I've got 1,500 subscribers. I get like 100 views per video. If you're in the fame game for this, you're either going to grind, get lucky, or fucking don't even bother.
Oh, you all put the work in, like Neil.
Well, no, some people.
No, there was. To be fair, there was a lot of luck involved in what I do. In the fact that being self-employed, I was flexible, in a flexible enough position to put more hours in than most people can into a channel. So, luck is very much involved.
Yeah, and also very consistent content every time. And that's always been a problem. I've never been consistent, and now I'm trying to be consistent. So see how it goes. Yeah. That's
I
it.
mean, having spoken to Dan, like I do quite a bit, it's the advice from him for anyone on YouTube is very much what you do, Neil, which is consistent content.
Yeah.
If you do big random gaps between content and people don't know that they're going to be getting a new episode on a Thursday or whatever, and it's, you know, a month or two, then 6 weeks, then 2 videos in a week. People don't like that.
But even at once a week, I get my peak and then I get my trough that comes down before the next release.
Yeah.
You know, you need realistically you need more than one release a week, I think, and that's not something that I can do to the standard that I
Yeah,
tried to do it at.
I-
I think 2 videos a week is necessary.
Yeah, I used to. I think that's where some of my issues were. I keep talking about myself. I do apologize. Where it's peaking and troughing, but I'm also bringing out a game asylum. Then I'm bringing out a vlog about nothing at all. And I'm messing people's expectations on my content. So now I'm trying to just focus on one thing, and then the other auxiliary videos will be very few and far between, because I'm trying to push my brand, you know. And that's important as well.
People do expect on YouTube to have, when they see a channel, they expect it to be every single video the same as that one that they just watched.
Which can be very, very stifling as well, unless you love what you're doing.
I was quite pleased this week. Last week I did my first retro road trip format when I went to Gary's.
Cool. Love that.
And it was really well received, which I was really pleased about, because that's a completely new format for the channel. So,
and the cool thing is to give Gary a bit of spotlight, because I only met him at Blackpool, but instantly became very good friends with him. You know, when we went for that meal and he got all those fucking sausages and shit. But yeah, and he's a fucking sweet guy. So to see
Gary
him
is awesome.
Yeah, to see him get a platform like that on your show was really cool. And he's got a lot of really cool shit as well.
Yeah. What I like about, I'm going to sing Gary's praises, but what I like about him is he's got retro shit, but he doesn't stick it in a glass case, never to be used, never to be touched. He's not precious about it like that.
Yeah, anything like that. I love like MSX and the 68,000. So those boxes especially, I'm fascinated with the box art and all that. I don't collect any of that stuff, but it really tickles my pickle.
There's something happened to your stream. It sort of paused there for a moment.
It's moving again now.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, there we go.
We thought you got so excited that you had intensified.
I'm gonna turn the cam off and tickle my pickle. Be right back.
Pickle tickling intensifies.
But that is the thing. There's a lot of people though who do the retro collecting, and they're all about the collecting but not enjoying.
Yeah, I was like that. I hated collecting. And I was just doing it mostly for the image, I think. Honestly, I wasn't doing it to portray an image, but I realized very quickly that I felt like a poser, and I'm buying shit that I know I'm not going to play. So what am I doing?
Don't you feel though now that it's sort of you're turning into collectors though? I feel I'm collecting stuff, but I genuinely want to play, but I just don't have the time now. So I'm actually still doing the thing that we're talking about is the worst thing.
Well, no, the cool thing, I was chatting to Tootie UK, and if you know Stu, he's a super collector. His stuff is insane, especially fitting in a very small spot. But anyway, he said, well, we were chatting in the bar at Blackpool, and he was saying about curating, not collecting. It's like, well, you know, I want to curate stuff. I want to buy stuff that I want to play. But any stuff that I don't want to collect, I'm not buying. Because I think everyone who picks a collection of whatever will buy anything related to that collection. Like when I see this all the time, and I've done it myself. You know, a collector goes to CEX, spends 50 quid on £1 games, and then just shows them off in a pickups video, puts them on a shelf, and they stay there.
Yeah.
And chances are they don't even work.
And that's the dangerous side of collecting, you know, because you're just, if you've got a shelf space and you've got the wherewithal to deal with all that shit, then awesome. But if you don't waste your time.
Yeah, that's my way. I've got obviously like large collections of like 16-bit stuff, so I've got Mega Drive and Super Famicom mainly. But mine's the same thing. It's curated. It's like I love. I pick the reasons I've got it are either because I wanted it when I was a kid and obviously couldn't afford it, or it's a game that I've never played before that I want. Or I like some of it. I occasionally buy for the box art, and I'm never going to get it out. You know? Like,
To set out to get a complete collection of Mega Drive or SNES, you can.
I have no
You
interest.
need dedication. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen them because obviously you see them in Galaxy Sega on Facebook and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. I'm like, fair play. If that makes you happy, who are we to say, take that away from you? But that wouldn't make me happy because you've got
No.
so much shit in those collections.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, yeah, I would love to play Castlevania Bloodlines, but do I really want to play one of the fucking Barbie games? No.
Yeah, it's like, people paying like stupid money for like things like Alf on the Master System. It's a shit game. And like Smurfs, it's like, really? Do you really want Smurfs?
If you're that curious, fucking emulate it.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah, just play it that way. You end up with like so many shit games. And like even as a kid, I had a few shit games because you do, don't you? You just buy things.
Well, yeah, you buy it because like.
I mean, or is it people are thinking, oh, it's going to be an amazing investment because this copy of Alf is worth £100 now. I can keep it and then it'll be worth £500. It's like,
No.
As well, isn't it? I think some of it is just like an image thing.
Yeah.
Thinking, well, like to put Castlevania Bloodlines on your YouTube or your Instagram or whatever. Like, I've just recently bought 2 repros, and the only reason I bought the repros is because I want to play the games.
And they're fucking cheaper.
And yeah, I don't want to pay like one's Treasureland. McDonald's Treasureland, which is like £100 odd. It's a freaking
What? Really?
Yeah, it's.
Fucking hell.
I'm not paying that amount of money for a game. Like the most I've paid now is £90, and that was to get a little box version of Flashback. So it's rare as freaking hen's teeth. But that's the most I've paid for anything.
I think the thing to remember is if you're collect because it's your passion.
Yeah.
Because financially, it ain't gonna, the retro market will burst at some point, and it will crash.
Oh yeah,
Well,
for sure.
I still remember buying a copy of Radiant Silvergun. It cost me £150. I got it. I played it once. I put it on the shelf, and that's where it remained for a good year. It's like, why am I doing that?
But I had this discussion the other day about these sort of retro computers, and people paying too much money for a Spectrum or an Electron or something. And I said to him, they're just not going to be worth anything, because I said if you go to any of these computer museums and stuff, there's plenty of crap in those places that nobody wants. And the reason is people only want them because they're now in their 40s, 50s, and they've got spare cash to buy them. And their kids aren't going to be interested in them, are they?
No.
Their kids won't give a shit about a CPC.
No.
Just really not, and it's as you say, Andrew. It's just the arse is going to drop out of it, and people aren't into computers now because it's mainly like those PS4s and PCs, which have no real. I don't think they're going to have.
They
that
have
same
no
collectible.
identity.
Yeah.
No.
I'm tempted to try and collect a full set of ZX Spectrum ROM cartridges.
Was there many?
Well, there's only like 10 of them,
There's,
isn't there?
there's 10. There's
Yeah,
10
yeah.
and I've got 3.
Well, I was just about to ask something, Neil, and you might be able the answer to this. In that, all the old computers we used to have that were on tape or discs or floppies. It's anything from 8-bit up to sort of Amigas and STs. Are the software for those actually worth really anything? Because it's always the things with cartridges seem to be worth something.
Well, when we looked at Gary's collection, he was saying he was trying to complete the Codemasters set. And there was one which was like DJ Puff or something like that.
That was it's really expensive, isn't it?
It goes for over £100, that single cassette on the ZX Spectrum.
Fuck me.
So, there are the rarities in there. There's, the Spectrum had like over 20,000 releases. So there's a lot of, most is cheap as anything. But there are the rare pieces in there, yeah, for sure.
I mean, like some of the, some stuff in here on eBay. Some of the Acorn soft stuff, because it was quite rare, because it didn't sell in any volume, is worth £70 if they're the proper big boxed ones. And they're on tape, but some games are worth a lot on disc or whatever. It just depends if they're rare. But I guess
it's a combination of if they're rare or if anybody actually gives a shit.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just down to the rarity, because some of it, but some of the games are shit, but they'll go for a fortune because they're rare.
But especially on eBay, they use the suffix rare on anything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Sonic the Hedgehog on a Mega Drive, rare. It's like, that isn't rare for fucking shit, mate. Yeah, they use that as a suffix to bump the price up for idiots who will buy that shit.
And then on the Amiga, you were asking, Andrew, I mean, you've got things like Shadow of the Beast, which if you get the long box edition with the T-shirt, I saw one listed for £300 on eBay the other day. I mean, eBay is not a good guide for price,
No.
but you know, it's still an expensive piece. And then spanning the whole, you know, 16-bit and beyond is the Ultima series with all the feelies that come in the box.
Yes.
So you got the clock map and the gemstones and the novellas that come in them. They go for a lot of money.
Can I admit something to you, Neil, and you're going to be really annoyed at me for it? I was once given an Ultima game for the Atari ST. I didn't play because I was just playing Laser Squad all the time. That's doing stuffs.
That's a fine. Laser Squad's a good game.
But it was the proper box. You say it had like a coin in it, a map, the whole works.
Yeah.
I just don't know what I did with it. I probably binned it or something. And that I
Well, we did. There was a guy in Poole down in Dorset in the late 90s, and he had a shop in a market that was just used video games. And I went down there one day and I bought as many Ultima games as I could, just because I liked the series, and you know, retro collecting wasn't massive at the time, and I was buying Ultima games for £1 a piece. Admittedly, one of them had bird crap on the box.
happens.
But you know, I bought them for £1 a piece, and when I hit hard times, I had to sell them, and I was selling them for £50 a piece.
Wow, good investment.
And you know, God knows what they're worth now. I wish I still had that collection. But yeah,
it was
crazy.
weird to think though, wasn't it, Neil? In the sort of mid 90s or early 90s, probably the mid, you could go to car boot sales and they would have things like Spectrums and old consoles that you'd never heard of, like a Volt Mace database. That was a good console. And you could it was just, car boots used to be full of stuff like that, but if you go to a car boot now, it's hardly any computing at all. No one's selling a PC at a car boot.
Tapes all mixed in with video game tapes. You'd be going through them trying to find them. No, you're lucky to find anything now, anything at all.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of it is like the charity shops. I think I've said before. A lot of the charity shops, unfortunately, have been approached by the retro collectors and dealers, and they have standing sort of arrangements that anything that comes in maybe of value, they get first dibs on because they're guaranteed to buy it.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of it is the collectors and the greed behind making a profit on it, people milking it.
You often see people on like Spock and other apps like that advertising. I want retro stuff. You know, give me your retro computers. Contact me if you've got an old retro computer. I always wonder if they do well out of that. If anyone actually sends them stuff. Not something I've tried myself.
I don't know, but
I've got to go. So bit of
all right, mate.
Yeah, see you later, Darren.
Neil, I'll catch up with you tomorrow at the tech event.
Oh, you're going to the tech event?
I'll be there. Yeah.
Are you there Sunday?
No, just tomorrow.
Oh, I'm just there Sunday, mate. Sorry.
Like ships in the night.
Adios, all. Nice
See you. Night.
Have a good one.
Fucking manly duty.
So, let's change the subject. Have something a bit of fun. So, who's got the computer on in front of them? If they go to their
Who's
local
got the computer? No, none of us.
Not me.
Go to their local Craigslist site.
I've never been to Craigslist.
On Craigslist.
I'll do it on the screen.
You can't tell me what to do.
All
right, let's do it.
All right.
Okay, Craigslist.
I've got to find the category. Hang on.
You want me to get to my local area, do you?
Whatever your local Craigslist area is.
Okay, I can't say it. Craigslist Oxford's going to pick up a tranny.
We're going to be in the same one there, aren't we, Scott?
Right. I'm going to Bristol.
Okay.
Lovely Bristol.
Right. Click on. I'm not even looking at your areas you're in. Under for sale, click on baby and kid. Just do it. No, there's nothing.
Yeah,
like,
baby and kids. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, okay.
Look what comes up.
I'm seeing nothing.
Drugs.
Oh wow!
Wow.
It's a lot of weed.
It doesn't matter which region you are in, right?
I like this picture. It's like you come by
weed on a bare lady's butt.
This is a good one. Shards, weed, coke, pills, heroin.
Oh, the weed on the lady's butt. I see that one.
And if you go down, there's like a Big Mac, a 4-layer Big Mac,
Oh,
and every
yeah.
with cheese on top of it.
What the fuck?
Do they think this? Oh, and there is some kids stuff though. There is kids stuff in it as well.
Wow, how do you
Got
know this?
all these models just like modeling weed. What the fuck?
It's something I got sent a while ago. But it doesn't matter which region you're in. Right? So even if you change to another Craigslist region, it's the same.
Yeah, and they've all got like kick names: Drug Lover 1 and Drug Team for your drugs. Wow.
That's amazing. So is there any other interesting categories in Craigslist? Because don't people always meet up with people on Craigslist and get murdered?
Well, like I said, let's find the trannies. Let's do it.
In amongst all this, there's just one baby stroller.
Yeah.
Amongst
The poor woman gets the cause of smackheads.
Yeah, they're trying to sell it to buy more smack.
But what would it be under? What would it be under then, Scott? I'm going to search off the screen for now. I'm looking.
I don't think they have they used to have like looking for action or whatever. The fuck.
Used to have, did they, Scott? And,
Yeah.
you know this, would you?
Yeah, I frequent it. So what? Got no shame. Just to see what fucked up things are on there.
I'm going to type in some rude stuff. So I'm going to type in sex. Fat guy looking for female. Yes, please. Let's have a look. Fat guy looking for female. Looking for sex from a female.
Oh shit! You found my post.
I am fat.
You found my post.
I like that because it's just, it's just to the point. How do you actually contact these people then?
Fuck knows.
Reply. Oh,
Probably
it's got like a
email or
reply
whatever.
button. In Hampshire, 19-year-old dirty.
Oh my god!
What's that?
I didn't expect that. I clicked on a picture and I got a face full of cock.
Cuddle time ladies.
I'm gonna watch it again on YouTube.
I want that on a t-shirt. I clicked on the link and I got a face with a cock.
Here's one for you, Andrew. This would work well. Cuddle time ladies. Hi, looking for a friendly lady to invite me round for a nice naked cuddle. Not looking for sex, just slide into bed for an hour and have a nice cuddle. Small reward on offer. No preference to age, ethnicity, or body shape. Just be genuine. I mean, that's nice, isn't it? That's nice.
Maybe you should.
Oh god, I'm having a look at the
Nice cuddle, Andrew. Who doesn't like a nice cuddle?
He doesn't.
Cuddle, don't they?
Bazza wants me to type in thin guy
Oh
looking
gosh.
for sex. I'm going to do this on my other ones. Oh, nothing. So sorry.
Lame.
Oh, that's in temp jobs. Sorry. Is it, should we community? I mean, I don't know what field. Oh. No, sorry, no results, Bazza, mate. Your ad's not up.
Oh, I found King Monkey's advert.
Go on.
Naturist personal trainer in Barnsley.
But somebody here saying, pay for girls' feet. Just looking for smelly after-work feet I can lick. Can pay cash for your time. Thanks. I'm almost like, what about men's feet and how much are you paying?
Why?
Look, if someone would say, okay, I'll give you 50 quid an hour to lick your feet, you might go, fucking hell, it's on the way
Hey,
home.
fuck off! I'm not doing that.
If it's on the way home.
I got ticklish feet. No.
Oh, right, yeah, you'd be like, oh, God.
Oh, there is a copy of
Oh, here we
on.
go. Here's the
Go
best
on.
title in the world. Need a mature woman with feet.
With feet.
Nobody come with feet, you fat cunt.
Those pirate women need not apply. Oh dear. He wants basically for a woman of any race or size to sit on a chair while he lays on the floor with their feet in his face as he pleasures himself. 10 minutes work maximum. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
That's not bad. That's not bad
Craigslist hilarious.
Fucking hell.
What if you see something and you just fancy clicking on it and you kind
Oh,
of
that's a bit
Oh,
harsh.
that's
That
awesome.
one that
Oh.
Andrew in the chat just linked to.
Andrew, is that your one? Yeah. Gonna get you blocked, mate. But it's quite brazen then. So I mean, this is why people they get murdered on Craigslist, don't they?
Yeah.
Isn't there a thing called a Craigslist killer? I think that was actually a real thing.
Wanking wife's thongs. Done.
Looking to worship a lad's feet in Portsmouth. Male looking to worship a lad's feet for cash.
All right,
Happily pay cash to a guy. Don't let me worship his feet. The sweatier the better. Get in touch.
So on Andrew's link that he sent, mine's just gone to a random picture that says Kent in the top left corner, and then it's again picture of lots of people in shoes. But I was thinking it might be a bit of fun to say I'm going to put in where are you? I'm going to put Oxford, and I'm going to put in. Let's put in a search that you think would be something relevant. So I'm going to put in something for Neil, and I'm going to say RetroCave. I think would be good search terms. Oh,
Sorry,
you're
my
safe.
cat is getting mental down here.
You're safe, Neil. There's no nothing.
Well, on a lighter note, there is a copy of Clay Fighter's Sculptor's Cup for the Nintendo 64, boxed and complete, for £800. There's also a Fortnite account for sale for 800 quid. Who the fuck's going to buy a Fortnite account for 800
Jeez.
quid? Fuck me.
Yeah, but the absolute worst word to type on Craigslist or Gumtree is retro.
Ooh, that's
Okay.
There's quite a nice CNC machine someone's selling here. I better not start making Craigslist now my new sort of eBay, my new Gumtree now.
There's a gentleman in Pembroke looking for a lady to cane him.
Oh, you found my advert again.
Yeah. Neil, what's going on?
It hurts.
Oh god.
Oh, we got a fight. It wouldn't be Friday night without a fight.
Drawing blood.
Get out of here.
Someone's selling an X-ray machine locally to me. This could
Oh,
be,
yeah, I see it.
This could be like a new thing. There's loads of medical equipment because it's all of the Oxford, medicine-y things.
Oh, yeah. And there's also a lot of hipster cameras as well. Oh, yeah, I really want to use 3-inch film. Fuck off.
Hipster cameras. Only used for one semester. And loads of cannabis things. There's unbelievable amounts of cannabis.
more cannabis.
I mean, this is all the cannabises.
It doesn't matter which region of the country you're in.
Cannabis and worn tights, apparently. That's
Ooh,
where
I
it's
can get
all at.
I can get worn underwear, a Windows XP machine, and cannabis all in one roof. Craigslist.
Oh dear, dearie me. Well, it's been nice chatting, but I kind of think it might be time to go to bed soon. Whilst all those Craigslist memories are fresh in our minds.
Wow, now you got a whole chat room looking through Craigslist.
Going, oh yeah, send in a
Buying up that
Craigslist.
weed. Better get it quick or the price will go up.
I do think though it would be interesting if someone wants to assist me on I think Scott will assist me on this. I'm going to do a video of buying something off Craigslist, but I actually going to buy something weird off someone who is weird, and I need someone to film me going up to like the front door to collect it. But you're not just documenting it; you're actually also kind of a bit like a bodyguard, just in case some weird
Next
shit.
time you're in Wales, I'll assist.
I don't mind being a muscle.
You won't mind being a muscle. That's good. And we'll have to think of some things that are really weird to want to buy.
Well, we could buy something out that baby section.
Oh, I wouldn't know what I would be buying.
Send Dr. A to a crack den.
They might be like, they might have a test to see if you're a pig by making you frigging smoke it on the doorstep as a proof. Because cops
No, but what would happen knowing your luck is, right, you'd wire yourself up with a hidden microphone just to get good audio, and they'd think you're a copper.
Oh dear, right. So I don't know. Have you got any last sort of passing comments for people who've look? There's still 13 people who've bloody hell sat with us here for like 3 hours. You troopers, everybody.
In hardcore.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
And Andrew says you've opened a door to some very weird adverts, as if Andrew didn't already seem to be a bloody Craigslist expert.
Yeah, and Andrew, you'll be going through them for the next few hours.
I will, now that I know that there's pictures
Oh,
of
yeah.
them. And Neil's commenting back to people, and that's pretty much it. How come everybody but Neil is wearing a headset? Does Neil? Oh, so yeah. Neil, there's a hair joke there as well. I'd quite like to get rid of the headset, but it's just to avoid echo.
Are you getting any echo off of me?
No.
No. So I'm just using a really old laptop. It
No, but that's
seems
weird.
to-
So if we say something loud, can we hear it? I'm going to do a test. 3, 2, 1. Gawk!
Nope.
This conferencing system is pretty bloody amazing. So
Not
there you go.
bad.
So I guess we've proven the point. Anybody in the stream, if you'd like some business media conferencing, then try mediasoup.org. Sponsored by
There's
Retro.
your advert. Yeah, there you go.
Do you have in it, Andrew?
Sorry,
How many shares do you have in this system?
shares. I'm going to sort of start investing in them.
no,
Should we just?
I've enjoyed the chat. I don't know if it's something that you want to do regularly or just impromptu. I know you don't like to plan things too much.
I would like to bring more regularity in my life. I've discovered recently that when I go out of a routine, I get very stressed and aggressive and angsty in my day-to-day life, which is something I'd like to avoid. So if I stop my running or stop my thing, it's something missing. So yeah, I would like to do something regular. I think a bit more structure could be useful, and maybe we'd have a little debate about something. We'd have a couple of topics. Mr.
Yes.
Dalton's good at choosing topics. I think he's done it. And you know, so Craig says routine is good. It's nice been sitting as a filthy voyeur, says Andrew. I would quite like to go maybe the little bit Louis Theroux route, where we cover some topics that are a bit funny or a bit weird.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, so
Mm.
I don't know yet how we're going to do it though, Neil. Have a think. It's something that we all have to prepare for, like by reading a weird thing or going on Craigslist for about 4 hours a day for the whole week. Or I'll
Well,
just
at
come
least
up.
luckily, you won't end up like the Retro Inlay live stream when one guy's talking about the Wii U for 3 fucking hours. It's like,
No.
shut the piss up. I'm going to stick that controller up your ass.
Well, I'm gonna do one other thing as well, and I think the people on the chat will appreciate this. I'm going to set up one of those online competitions where everybody can play along in real time using your phones as well to answer the questions that pop up on the screen if you've got the
Oh,
URL.
yeah.
And that way we can all be in sync across the chat and the web conference. So we'll do a theme for the questions as well.
I think the more you can involve the chat, the better. I've tried to keep an eye on them and chat to them, and I think it makes a difference if you engage as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yeah, it's fun.
And we can
And
call
that
it
would be
the men's domicile circle jerk.
I want that on a shirt.
But
The logo, not the circle jerk.
Okay, not the
Can
result.
we have a mystery guest join us who doesn't turn the webcam on, and we've got to guess who it is?
Do they use a voice changer? Or they-
Yeah, they can do that. Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
Mm.
Mr. PGT says, all that Craigslist, you would really suffer for your art, Dr. A. I do. And something I've just noticed in this stream, and I'm really admiring it. I want to tell Scott that I'm loving this red. And my question to Scott is, did you paint your room as part of your whole YouTube thing? Or was it
No, I got... All right, this is back in my precocious days because I've moved back into this room years later. I went out one day, got incredibly stoned, saw this red colour on in the local Wilco, and I thought that would be great on all walls. And I painted all walls in red. Now my fucking room looks like a boudoir. I should be in lingerie right now. Yeah, it's...
That's for your other stream later.
Yeah.
Monetized playbacks.
Yeah, I'll definitely put that ad on Craigslist.
Right. Well, I think it's been wonderful, and we will see you all around. And Neil, I think I'm going to see you tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to make sweet music in Howard's loft tomorrow.
There you go. And that is not a euphemism, unfortunately. We are
Or just a load of keyboard slaps.
keyboard
Jamming.
jamming. So yeah, have a lovely weekend, everybody, and everybody in the chat and stream. You too. Speak to you soon. All the best. Night.
Night, everyone.
I'm going to count to
Night.
3. 1, 2. Before I stop it because it